If we could be seated, we got some seats in the room, so if folks want to get a seat, we're going to start in just a second. The 244th meeting of the Texas Board of Criminal Justice is reconvened in accordance with Chapter 551 of the Texas Government Code, the Open Meetings Act. It is 9:49 a.m. During this meeting, the board will be conducting business from the agenda posted in the Texas Register. Members of the board present for the meeting include myself, Eric Nichols, Vice Chair Faith Johnson, Ambassador Sishan Siv, Pastor Nate Sprinkle, General Bill Welch, Tom Fordyce, and also joining us by Zoom today, Judge Molly Francis. A quorum of the board is present and the meeting is now declared open. This meeting is being conducted here at the Texas Prison Museum in Huntsville, Texas, and is also being broadcast on the Texas Department of Criminal Justice YouTube channel. It is 9:49 a.m. Before we get started, I would like to invite everyone present to stand as you're able and join us as a board in pledges of allegiance. And Texas Department of Criminal Justice Chief Programs Officer Jason Clark will lead us in the pledges. Mr. Clark, when you're ready, please begin. Thank you, Mr. Clark. I would now ask our board member, Pastor Nate Sprinkle, to introduce TDCJ Chaplain Daniel Hicks to offer a word of prayer as we start our meeting.
Thank you, Chairman Nichols. Before we begin with a word of prayer, I would like to introduce TDCJ Chaplain Daniel Hicks. Mr. Hicks has Mr. Hicks has served with the Texas Department of Criminal Justice for over 8 years. He started as a case manager for the Sex Offender Treatment Program, then for the Youthful Inmate Program at the Ellis Unit, following which he promoted to a program supervisor and then chaplain at the Estelle Unit. Then, subsequent to working several years as the program director for Youthful Inmate Program, GRAD, and CITP within Rehabilitation Programs Division at the Ellis Unit, he has now begun his service as a chaplain at the Holiday Unit. Chaplain Hicks, are you here? All right. Would you please come forward and do us the honor of opening our meeting with a word of prayer? And as you come to the podium, if you would, turn the microphone on there.
Okay, very good. Thank you very much. Good morning. If we could all prepare ourselves for a word of prayer this morning. Father God, as we begin this meeting for the Texas Board of Criminal Justice, we ask for your wisdom. We acknowledge that we need your wisdom and insights. Therefore, we welcome your presence. Father, we ask that you guide the discussions and decisions, ensuring what is best for all involved. We trust in your perfect wisdom and ask that you direct this meeting according to your will. In James 1:5, it says, "If any of you lacks wisdom, let him ask God, who gives generously to all without reproach, and it will be given him." We claim this promise, and we trust in your provision. Thank you for being with us always. Thank you for your faithfulness in our lives. Thank you for each person in this meeting and the unique talents and perspectives they bring. We thank you for the opportunity to gather together and work towards a common goal. We pray for the peace of mind and heart for each person in this meeting, as well as the agency staff, inmates in our custody, and all those citizens of the great state of Texas. May they trust in your plans, have faith that you are working all things together for good. And we ask all of this, Father, in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. Chaplain Hicks, thank you very much.
Thank you.
And thank you, Chaplain Hicks, and thank you, Pastor Sprinkle, for, as you all know, we use this portion of our meeting to highlight the great work that is being done by our women and men of chaplaincy across our system. As a courtesy to speakers and guests in the meeting, please turn your electronic devices to the silent or vibrate mode. Thank you very much in advance for that. We next like to recognize the public officials and staff representatives who attend our meetings, and specifically today I am honored to be able to acknowledge Mr. Trey Wharton, who is our Texas elected state representative from District 12, where we're meeting today. Representative Wharton, I saw you in the meeting. So thank you for being here, sir. We appreciate it. And Representative Wharton, it goes without saying, has been, especially being from a district that includes many of our facilities, has been fully engaged and extremely supportive member of our great group of elected officials that help us do the work that we do every day. So we appreciate that. And we also appreciate all other representatives of and public officials who may be attending with us online today. And we appreciate everybody being here today. We appreciate you taking the time out of your busy lives, especially during the holiday season, to be with us here today. It is very important to have your participation, even if you're looking at us on screen. We very much appreciate you being here. And in line with that, the Texas Board of Criminal Justice is committed to providing an opportunity for public presentations on posted agenda topics, as well as for public comments on issues within its jurisdiction, as provided in Board Rule 151.4. Persons interested in speaking at today's meeting were required to complete and submit a registration card at least 10 minutes prior to the meeting's posted start time. We did receive one card with respect to item J on our agenda, and so that's an example of someone who is stepping up to actually provide us the input that we want, and we need from members of the public. The next item on our agenda is recognitions. And so today, I want to start with a special recognition of one of our own, one of our board members. It is my distinct honor to recognize, on behalf of our board, our Vice Chair, Judge Faith Johnson, for two recent and highly distinguished honors that reflect her extraordinary leadership, service, and enduring legacy in the field of law and public justice. Judge Johnson was recently awarded the 2025 Charlie O. Ferris Award by the J.L. Turner Legal Association, Dallas Black Women Attorneys, a prestigious Legacy and Trailblazer Award that is presented to individuals whose careers have paved the way for future generations while exemplifying excellence, courage, and integrity. Judge Johnson also received the Lewis Prestige Woods Legacy Award from the Thurgood Marshall School of Law Alumni Association, an honor that recognizes a lifetime of service, mentorship, and unwavering commitment to justice and legal education. These awards are testaments to Judge Johnson's remarkable impact as a leader whose influence extends far beyond her work in public service and far beyond her valuable work on this board. On behalf of the board, we are proud to acknowledge her achievements, and we are grateful for her continued service as on this board and as vice chairman of the Texas Board of Criminal Justice. So congratulations, Judge Johnson. The Texas Board of Criminal Justice, we always recognize, just as we just recognized the great women and men who are working in chaplaincy across our state, we also recognize at each of our meetings our valued TDCJ employees who have dedicated 25, 30, 35, 40, and even 45 years of dedicated service to the state of Texas. These individuals represent the strong commitment of this agency's staff system-wide. Our board and our executive director, Mr. Bobby Lumpkin, express our deepest gratitude for their continued service. And so you hear me give these stats at each of our meetings, but you just got to let it sink in a little bit, okay? So during the months of November and December of 2025, 49 employees achieved 25 years of service. 34 employees attained 30 years of service. 11 employees attained 35 years of service. 16 employees attained 40 years of service. And 3 employees attained 45 years of service. And as those in the room are seeing, we are displaying the list of these valued employees for all to read. And the names of these valued employees will also be submitted for inclusion in the official minutes of this board meeting. The Texas Board of Criminal Justice congratulates each and every one of these employees and thanks you for your unwavering loyalty and dedication to the citizens of Texas. And as a further symbol of our gratitude and appreciation, each of you will be receiving a board certificate along with a personal letter. The next recognition, I'm going to turn the mic over to our executive director, Mr. Bobby Lumpkin, and I understand, Mr. Lumpkin, you're going to be recognizing 3 persons today. If you're ready, please begin.
Thank you, Chairman Nichols. Renee Hinojosa, if you please come up to the mic. So this morning I have the extreme honor to recognize a seasoned division director that is making a move over to a vacant position with the Training and Leader Development Division, Renee Hinojosa. Renee has over 31 years of criminal justice experience with the Texas Department of Criminal Justice, beginning his career in 1994 as an institutional parole officer at the Lockhart Unit, now known as the Coleman Unit. Mr. Hinojosa has served in various positions and divisions throughout his career to include district parole officer, parole analyst, program administrator, contract monitor, regional supervisor, and deputy division director of the Administrative Review and Risk Management Division, as well as the Private Facility Contract Monitor and Oversight Division. In 2017, he was named Division Director of the Rehabilitation Programs Division, and most recently in 2020, became the Division Director for the Parole Division. Mr. Hinojosa has a proven leadership background. His wealth of experience will serve the agency well in his new capacity, but also especially as we move into 2026 and move into the Brian Collier Leadership and Training Center, which of course comes on next summer, comes online. So we look forward to Renee's leadership as we move into our new facility. But again, this morning, just want to thank Renee for making this move. He has hit the ground running, met with many of the division directors, stakeholders, some in this room and many out in the field. He has been across to all of our academies already, and we'll get to also speak about some of the great work of TLDD here in a little bit. But Renee, thank you again and congratulate you in your new position.
Mr. Hinojosa, the board has already seen your great work in various roles at TDCJ, including with parole, and we are very excited to see the progress that is made in the Training and Leader Development Division under your leadership. And every time I come to Huntsville, I always drive by that building, and I keep saying, okay, when is that building gonna get open? But they are seems like they're making tremendous progress. And I know that's just a place, and the place doesn't matter as much as the people, but to have that place where we're going to be able to conduct all these great training activities is something that we're all looking forward to. But we're also looking forward to your achievement in this new position. So thank you very much for stepping forward into this new role.
Next recognition, Monica Ruiz Del Bosco, come up to the stand, please. So this morning, I have the extreme honor to introduce our new Parole Division Director, who, as well as many of our division directors, deputy directors, and many of our leaders, employees, in what they do each day, has an extreme passion for what they do. And Monica is an attestament to that. So she has been named as the new division director of the Parole Division. Nearly 19 years of experience in the criminal justice field. Monica began her criminal justice career as a fugitive recovery agent in Bell and Travis County. And no, Lance Coleman, she is not eligible to be hired with OIG. Fugitive recovery agent in Bell and Travis County areas, followed by a stint with the Cameron County Sheriff's Department. Monica joined TDCJ in 2012 as a parole officer and has since held various positions within the Parole Division, including unit supervisor, assistant section director, oversight section director, and most recently, deputy division director. Please join me this morning congratulating Monica as she assumes this key leadership role. She, as well as I mentioned, Renee, has hit the ground running and is out in the field, out seeing the offices, seeing the client supervision, and already meeting with many key stakeholders as well as division directors, and is going to do a great job. Her diverse experience in not only parole but criminal justice, combined with her strong leadership skills and comprehensive knowledge, is going to serve well. Congratulations, Monica.
Congratulations, Mr. Velasco, on moving forward into this new role. And I didn't, you know, I know Mr. Hinojosa was ready to share a few words with him, and I deprived him of the opportunity to do that. So I apologize, Mr. Hinojosa, but I want to give you the opportunity to say a few words to us about your new role.
Absolutely, no, I apologize. I am extremely excited. This is a very humbling experience to be able to be afforded this opportunity. Parole has been a passion of mine for a long time, and I'm definitely looking forward. I have very many big shoes to fill from the prior director and those prior to him. I'm just excited to see where the new team that's unfolding can take things for the Parole Division. So I thank you very much for the opportunity, and I will do my best to not disappoint.
Well, as you know, the board knows the importance of the role of this agency in terms of administering the parole supervision and parole programming that is run through this agency. And as you know, we try to spotlight those efforts. We try to have a time in our board meetings where we can actually talk about the great work that's being done every day out there across the state in the field of parole and parole supervision. So we'll look forward to your additional continuing the updates that Mr. Hinojosa has started before you. So thank you.
Absolutely.
And thank you for stepping forward into this new role.
Thank you. Knock it off.
And one more recognition, and Damon Andrews can come up. So coming in, of course, September 1 into the position, and with the movement of Mr. Hinojosa over to the training division, and Monica into parole. At the same time, also bringing Damon Andrews in, filling out the team of division directors here at TDCJ. So I'd like to recognize Damon as our new division director for the facilities division. And of course, you'll get to hear from Damon a little bit later today. And as you all know, you hear from Damon every single board meeting. Mr. Andrews has more than 21 years of criminal justice experience with the agency, beginning his career in 2004 as a correctional officer. Over the years, Damon has demonstrated a strong commitment to public service and professional growth, holding every uniformed supervisory position, including assistant warden and senior warden. But also, some may not know, Damon has also served in positions such as parole officer, as well as over our staffing command, and then most recently serving as one of the deputy division directors for the facilities division. Damon is an absolutely authentic, excellent leader in what he does each and every day. His wide range of knowledge, operational expertise, and proven leadership will serve him well in this position and will serve the agency well. I'm very fortunate to have him in this key role. And Damon, thank you for taking this on. As you know, we've had a lot of conversations, and I know you have with General Welch as well. There's a lot to be done in facilities going forward, and we look forward to seeing your leadership and what you'll do. Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right, Mr. Andrews, I'm going to give you a chance to say a few words about your new role. So, and I know you've got some shoes to fill. I'm not going to talk about whether they're big or small, but you know, Mr. Hudson's lurking around here somewhere. So please give us some insight on your new role.
Yes, sir. First of all, thank you to the board for their trust in this opportunity and being afforded this. Mr. Lumpkin, thank you for all that you've done for me over the years. Mr. Hudson, Mr. Steffa, Mr. Clark. Most of all, I want to thank all the men and women that work over in the facilities division. Without them, none of this is possible. And my family at home, thank you for this opportunity, and I promise I won't let you down.
We're looking forward to seeing what you do in this new role. Thank you, sir. All right, our next recognition will be presented by TDCJ Rehabilitation and Reentry Division Director, Ms. April Zamora. I see you're coming up to the podium, and I understand you want to recognize Ms. Mercy Wood on being the new Deputy Division Director. So the podium, the microphone is yours. Whenever you're ready, please proceed.
Thank you. Chairman, members of the board, Mr. Lumpkin. I'm pleased to introduce Mercy Wood as our new Division Deputy Director. Ms. Wood is the classic example of beginning your career as a clerk and growing all the way into a Deputy Director position. She started with TDCJ in 2013 in the Classification Department as a Clerk 1. She then grew into an Administrative Assistant 1, 2, then 3 with the Parole Division's Placement Unit in the Review and Release Department in Huntsville, and then she came to the Reentry and Integration Division as a case manager, grew into an Assistant Regional Director, and took over one of the biggest operating processes within our division, which is releasing. So during COVID, went into the releasing department as that Assistant Regional Director. We were able to operationalize statewide releasing, and I realized the heart and passion that Ms. Wood has. She became a regional director with us, and her challenges kept growing. We then created this beautiful new division that we'll talk about later, and she became our director of program coordination and development. The one thing I can tell you about Ms. Wood, she's dynamic. She's organized beyond anything I can keep up with. She challenges my technical skills. She can definitely create a database that she's outwitted me and outsmarted me, so there's a lot of growth there and beyond. Was really upset when my past deputy left, Mr. Bates in the audience, supervised her and obviously helped her grow into something amazing in his short time with us. And the one thing I can say about Ms. Wood is that she came and I said, we're gonna do this. I can see something in you from the moment that she came into that ARD position, and we kept interacting. So when I think about joy of promoting someone, you saw a different me with Mr. Bates because he just had excitement. But for Mercy, I've just watched her grow over the years for so long. So this one is one of those that I'm really excited about to bring to you because of the growth of this, I want to say young woman, because she does challenge me so much to think outside of the box. But the innovation that she's bringing to this team is remarkable. So Ms. Wood, the mic is yours. Congratulations.
Thank you for the kind introduction, Ms. Zamora. I have had the best leaders that have just poured into me. But first off, good morning, Chairman Nichols, Mr. Lumpkin, members of the board. I am incredibly honored and excited to serve in this role. I believe in the work we're doing. I certainly believe in the team doing it, and I am motivated to keep us moving forward. Thank you.
Well, first of all, congratulations. And we so much appreciate you stepping forward into this vitally important role when you're talking about the emphasis that our agency has on rehabilitation and reentry. And I know you all have a great team. And Ms. Zamora, I really appreciate you talking about the arc of Ms. Wood's career, because it's like when you go around and talk to folks about the outstanding careers that individuals can have at this agency, at TDCJ, you are an example of that, where you may start in a certain place, but the opportunities for growth, the opportunities for promotion are literally limitless. And so we appreciate you being strong in your personal development, and we look forward to seeing your great accomplishments in this new role. So thank you very much. Our next recognition will be presented by TDCJ Victim Services Division Director, Ms. Angie McCown. Ms. McCown, I see you coming up, and I understand you would like to recognize Ms. Dawn McKeon on being the new Deputy Division Director. So when you're ready, please begin.
Okay. Good morning, everybody, and happy holidays. Good morning, Chairman Nichols.
They can hear you, but go ahead and turn your mic on.
Oh, well, yeah, you can definitely hear me. Oh, sorry about that. Good morning, Chairman Nichols, Vice Chair Bobby Lumpkin, and all the distinguished members of the board and the members of the executive staff. I am so excited to be here today to recognize Dawn McKeon as the new and first ever Deputy Director of the Employee Support Services section in the Victim Services Division. Ms. McKeon grew up in a military family. She is the daughter of an Air Force veteran who served our country in Vietnam. She raised 2 children who followed in her footsteps. She has a daughter who is also in the Air Force, and then she has a son who apparently rebelled and was in the Navy and is now a Ohio State Trooper. She grew up in a lot of places, but she finally settled with her family in the United States her sophomore year. She likes, in her free time, which sometimes I have to force her to take, she likes to box, she likes to spend time outdoors, she likes to do some self-care, and she likes to spend time with her family. She has parents who live nearby, and she takes the time to go and visit with them every single time she comes to Huntsville. She will often come in her own car so that she can go see mom and dad. She's a great daughter. Dawn holds a Bachelor of Science in Human Resources Management, and she also has a Master's of Arts in Counseling from Webster University. She's held several positions at the Texas Department of Criminal Justice since 2007. She's been a parole officer 2, a program specialist 5 with reentry and reintegration. She's been a Takumi program director with reentry and integration. She was a Takumi manager, an assistant section director of Central Coordination Unit in parole, plans and operations section director of parole, and then finally, in February of 2023, she found her way home to the Victim Services Division, where she served exceedingly well as the manager of the Employee Support Services section until this most recent promotion to Deputy Director. Ms. McKeon has led the Employee Support Services section with determination for excellence and compassion, not only for her staff, but also for everyone who works for this agency. She understands the mission of the Victim Services Division and how that mission exists within the broader context of the agency's mission. In her short tenure with us, she has worked hard to become an expert in trauma-informed care and how to help our staff be resilient enough to be successful in both their personal and their professional lives. I know few leaders who can support and motivate their staff to the degree that Dawn can. To emphasize that point, I asked her staff prior to this introduction today to describe what kind of leader she is, and these were some of their responses: indomitable, compassionate, generous, charismatic, patient, focused but flexible, kind, insightful, inspiring, supportive, and a visionary. I could not be more excited about the future of the Employee Support Services section under her leadership. Please join me in congratulating Dawn McKeon as the first ever Deputy Director of the Employee Support Services section.
Ms. McKeon, congratulations on stepping forward into this new role. We have, all of us on the board have had a chance to see your work
Yes, sir.
firsthand, and including those those nights at the Walls unit, taking care of families that are there. So we very much appreciate your stepping forward. Would you care to share a few words about your new role?
Yes, sir, absolutely, and thank you. Good morning, Chairman Nichols, Mr. Lumpkin, and board members. I'm honored to be here on behalf of Victim Services Division Employee Support Services. As Angie alluded to, in February of 2023, both her and Mary entrusted me to build a team that would provide peer services, much needed peer services, to our TDCJ family. My team over the last couple of years has done an amazing job, met the challenge, and has been extremely successful. I'm here today as Deputy Director for Employee Support Services, entrusted again by Angie and executive staff to expand ESS. I like to call it the 5.0 version of Employee Support Services, with the funding that we received from this last legislative session. It truly does take a village to implement change, to shift and soften a culture, and to take a deep dive into, systemic dive on how we can best meet the needs of our TDCJ family through a trauma-informed lens. I want to take the opportunity to thank everybody in this room who's entrusted our team to provide peer support services to their staff, to their family members, and to themselves at times. So we are moving forward, to be able to expand those services, to bring on the clinicians, to bring on those wellness trainers, to bring on the additional administrative and management staff to be able to support those efforts. So in addition, I want to also thank those that are helping us get the process of implementation, those in HR, in payroll, in budget, and the divisions that have allowed us the opportunity for space to do our worldwide tour of interviews. So thank you for the opportunity. I'm super excited about what we're bringing to this agency and seeing where we can go from here. So innovation, creative, and limitless opportunities.
Well, we appreciate that, and we appreciate the fact that when the legislature makes a decision to invest more money in the support and development of our staff, our TDCJ family staff, of staff, that we're able to put those resources to good practical use in a way that we can all see those results. So we very much appreciate your focus on this area. So thank you, ma'am.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right, now I get to recall Ms. De Velasco. So I understand you're going to be recognizing in your new role as Parole Division Director, you're going to be recognizing Mr. Irvin Rick Washington on being the new Deputy Division Director. So when you're ready, Ms. De Velasco, the podium is yours.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, Mr. Lumpkin, members of the board. I won't skirt out real fast this time. I'll take my time on this one. First and foremost, thank you for the opportunity for allowing me to introduce Mr. Washington. He does also go primarily by Rick, so that's how he's known everywhere. He comes out of Central Operations there in Austin. Mr. Washington started his career with the Parole Division back in 2005. He has over 20 years of experience in the criminal justice field, to which here in TDCJ he's held a variety of positions in the Parole Division, which include being a unit supervisor out in the field, a parole supervisor, assistant region director, and his most recent role as the section director of the warrant section. He's been phenomenal in establishing very, very strong network communications with local law enforcement jurisdictions out in the field, to include OIG, He comes to us with a bachelor's degree in science and psychology from Southwestern Oklahoma State University, to which it should be known that he was given a full ride scholarship to play football. If you can't see why, you can see behind me when he comes up to the podium. And I'm going to say the same thing to Mr. Coleman. No, you can't have him. He's done a phenomenal job at creating those connections with OIG. I don't think there's anybody that doesn't know who Mr. Washington is. When he walks the halls in central operations and many of the field offices, we just went to some yesterday, his charisma, his people-centered energy, his football-like stature just draws people in, and they absolutely love the positive energy that he puts out in a room whenever he's always wants to take the time to get to know people and work through processes. So with that, he does tackle pretty much any challenge that you throw his way, and he does it phenomenally. No pun intended on the tackling. He won't be doing any of that. But without further ado, please help me in joining Mr. Washington as he assumes this new role.
Mr. Washington, we had a chance to visit just for a few minutes before the meeting, and just want to say publicly we very much appreciate you stepping forward into this new role. And if you have a few thoughts to share with us, we would like to hear them.
Good morning. Chairman Nichols, Mr. Lumpkin, and the members of the board, I'd like to thank you for this opportunity. I'm extremely excited to see where this is going to go, to assist anywhere as needed, hit the ground running, and I look forward to doing a good job for you. I appreciate all the bosses that have got me to where I'm at today, and the people that work for me. First and last but not least, my wife and my kids. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Next, I have the honor to recognize our TDCJ Executive Director, Mr. Bobby Lumpkin, for his 35 years of distinguished service and dedication to this agency and to the people and public we serve. For more than 3 decades, Mr. Lumpkin's service and leadership have embodied integrity, compassion, and an unwavering commitment to public safety, accountability, and justice. You know, Mr. Lumpkin had a little bit of time earlier this year to focus and reflect on the transition to his role as executive director, but not that much time. And until the first day he assumed the role of executive director, Mr. Lumpkin was laser focused on his prior role as TDCJ's Chief Operations Officer, and before that, Director of the Correctional Institutions Division. So there has been no timeout, no rest station for Mr. Lumpkin on his TDCJ journey, a journey of 35 years of countless decisions made with care, mentorship offered to generations of public servants, and a legacy built on service rather than self-recognition or self-promotion. And I know I speak on behalf of the board in saying that we not only appreciate Bobby Lumpkin, the servant leader, but also Bobby Lumpkin, the man. Mr. Lumpkin understands fully that this mission of stewardship of such a large agency with such a large budget and a large portfolio of responsibilities, not just running prisons, but also, as we've talked about previously, the parole supervision system, programming for the society both in our facilities and outside our facilities. He fully understands that that's not about any one person. Instead, it is about being a leader who supports others, including everyone on the team, from our frontline security and administrative staff to executive leadership. And we know that this healthy and positive perspective that continues to lead him forward is based on the fundamentals of family, and we are also very honored to have Mr. Lumpkin's mother, Peggy, daughter Autumn, and sister Sean Roden here today. And we also know that it is, with Mr. Lumpkin, it is not just the fundamentals of family, but it also is the fundamentals of faith. So on behalf of the board and all those whose lives and careers have been positively impacted by his efforts, we extend our sincere gratitude and appreciation. Thank you, Mr. Lumpkin, for your 35 years of service, leadership, and dedication to the Texas Department of Criminal Justice. And if you would like to share a few words, I'd be happy to hear those as well.
No, absolutely. Thank you so much, Chairman Nichols, Vice Chair Johnson, members of the board, and especially thank you to the 32,000 men and women that make up our agency, and not only the 32,000 men and women that protect the great state of Texas and what we do in the pure public safety, but in enriching lives and ensuring that we provide hope to those that come in that have no hope. And of course, not only that we do that alone, but we do it with many across the communities, many groups across the external stakeholders across the state that do the absolutely heavy lifting every single day. And I'll have a holiday message in a little bit, but as we know, as we get to lay down every night, there's thousands of men and women across the state that are protecting the public and of course what we do day in, day out. And none of this is possible without the men and women that had the humble opportunity to continue to work alongside each and every day, but also with my family and of course the family values that I was raised on, and with my beautiful family support, my mom and my sister and my daughter Autumn and my son Dustin, who couldn't be here this morning, and the sacrifices they've made. They finally just gave up about a decade ago and moved down here to be near me, figuring I was not going to go back to Central Texas anytime soon. But thank you to them. Love you all for your support and patience. Many in this room could share stories of patience with me, and y'all could share stories of patience with them. So thank you again, Chairman, and thank you for the ongoing support, and thank you all that make it happen every single day.
Well said. The next agenda topic covers consent items. Are there any amendments, objections, or abstentions to the proposed consent items? Hearing none, the consent items posted for this meeting's agenda will stand approved.
Mr. Chairman, we should remind people, we probably have about 9 chairs over here. I see some of the ladies standing, and I don't know if they want to sit down, but we have about 9 chairs over here.
Absolutely, that's a great suggestion. Can we just take a minute, and anyone would like to come grab a seat? Please, we've got some seats down here, I believe.
Yeah, down here, over here. I guess they want to stand.
The next item on our board's agenda is, as I forecasted a minute ago, is our TBCJ Parole Division Spotlight. This item on our agenda highlights examples of how the agency's parole officers are out there every day making our Texas community safer through supervision and support of those released from TDCJ facilities to parole. So, when you take a role like this, Ms. De Velasco, you gotta, gonna do a little walking up to the podium. So here she comes again, and I understand that you will be introducing Parole Officer Kay Wagner, and when you're ready, please proceed.
Is it on? Okay. Mr. Chairman, Chairman Nichols, Mr. Lumpkin, members of the board. First and foremost, again, for my 3rd trip up here, thankful for the opportunity. Thank you for allowing me the opportunity to introduce Ms. Kay Wagner. She's a parole officer out of our Huntsville District Parole Office. Ms. Wagner began her career in the parole division in October 2017. Since joining, she's made it her mission to absorb as much information and knowledge as she can. She's among the team or crew of individuals who has been to every possible specialized caseload training, because she just wants to absorb it in and have all of that knowledge. She's so knowledgeable, so much so that her colleagues and her peers, when she walks into the room, they see her and they speak of her as being one of their more knowledgeable colleagues. She's very approachable and always willing to help. She's leading the way in rising to the call of mentoring new officers when they come in and fostering a collaborative work environment. She emphasizes that her success is rooted in her belief that teamwork makes the difference. Ms. Wagner is a proud graduate of Sam Houston State University, where she earned her degree in criminal justice. So please help me welcome Ms. Kay Wagner as she shares a bit about her story and her journey as a parole officer, and then what's to come from there.
Welcome. We're glad to have you here.
Good morning, Chairman Nichols, board members, and Mr. Lumpkin. My name is Kay Wagner. I've been a parole officer for 8 years. I am currently at the Huntsville DPO. I have completed all specialized caseload training and supervised a special needs caseload. I am currently supervising an administrative caseload. I became a parole officer to assist our clients with their successful reintegration into society. One successful client that I have had the privilege to supervise is Mr. Kelly Castellino.
And sir, we appreciate you being here too today.
Chairman, we appreciate you having me. So we have a little bit of different side, but I appreciate the work and allowing me to be here. Mr. Lumpkin, Chairman, thank y'all for having me here today. My name is Kelly Bryce Castellino. I was released on the parole supervision on February 22nd of 2022 from my third trip to TDCJ. Becoming an addict at early in life sent me on a journey with a total of 15 years and 3 TDC numbers. On my final sentence, God opened my eyes and I started doing things the exact opposite. Opening the door to parole was the opportunity I was praying for. Being released from prison, parole granted me an F55, and I was released to an inpatient 6 months prior to release, followed by a 60-day inpatient at the Cheyenne Center in Houston. Upon successful completion, I was able to transfer from the halfway house to a 3/4 house while still under supervision and being held accountable to the program. It did grant me more freedom. It was during this time that I was able to buy my first vehicle, which made working my way from a $13 to a $22 an hour job, and meeting my now wife, who's here in the back supporting me.
Will she please stand up?
She continues to show her unwavering support. All possible, completing the inpatient program moved me on to the next step in my process on parole to a 6-month drug program since once a week. With being a business owner on my vision board from the years before, while during the course of that 6-month drug program, when the time came, I met with my then parole officer and presented my business plans. Showing profound reform and completion of all deemed programs by the parole supervision, I was given the go-ahead to proceed in chasing my dreams. And that's when Castellino's Godsend LLC was established. In July of 2023, and now thriving transportation company. Opened the company, opened doors. It just makes it different when I can stand in front of y'all and know that God's made everything possible, and I'm still bringing an income in, sitting in front of y'all, and man, God's been good. Opening the company opened doors to be able to move out of Houston and to the country, where I was then transferred to the Huntsville Parole Division and was given Parole Officer Wagner. Ms. Wagner has gone above and beyond and deserves all the recognition today. Over the time since my release, my wife and I knew we wanted to give back inside the prison walls. Joining Reggie Hicks, a good brother and founder of Brothers Keeper Prison Ministry, we started going back inside with them as much as possible. Knowing I needed my permanent volunteer status, I approached Ms. Wagner, who was more than willing to help me go through the process. She helped me through every course of action needed, and thanks to her, I was able to achieve my goal and am now able to get back inside to minister to my brothers in white, letting them know that it's possible on the outside and their TDC number does not have to define them. In 2024, after serving alongside as a volunteer, my wife and I were asked to step on the board of directors of Brothers Keeper Prison Ministry. As the board members, we walk alongside Brothers Keepers facilitating events inside unit across Texas, such as marriage seminars, family days, days with dads, amongst many church services throughout the year. As I continue to move forward and I think about the future, we continue to pray for prosperity. For prosperity in our business, I have a goal of a 5-truck setup with 5 drivers so that eventually my wife and I can join Reggie and Brothers Keeper in full-time ministry. That's the ultimate goal. As Matthew 28:19 states, go and make disciples of all the nations. I don't really feel my walks is deserving of this honor today. I feel like I'm doing what a productive member of society is supposed to do. But I thank y'all for having me and allowing me to stand here and tell a little bit about my story. I thank the parole board for granting parole, because without you, this would not be possible. Thank you, Mrs. Wagner. Thank you, Mrs. Wagner, and the entire Huntsville division for working with me. I know I caused more paperwork than normal, but all for good reasons. Thank you to my beautiful wife, and thank you to God for the strength to continue in my sobriety each and every day. I give him all the glory and honor. Without him, I wouldn't have the opportunity to stand before you today, nor would I have the opportunity to serve alongside like Reggie Hicks or Chris Carter, whose hearts are just as driven to change and shape the atmosphere in the war on the souls on the inside of prison. There was a song at the inpatient program at the Cheyenne Center saying, their fight song that sums it all up. I'm dedicated, dedicated, downright dedicated. You check me out, you check me out. What? I still sing that song today. Being released on parole comes with challenges to face in this world. With a felony background, but with the right mindset and the correct guidance and dedication, we can transfer out being a part of the solution and not the problem. One result in experience forgiveness is the desire to share it with others. Thank y'all, board members, for having me.
And thank you so much for that, for sharing your experience with us. And we're not an advertising agency as a board, but I want to make sure that your name and the name of your company is recorded fully in the minutes of our board meeting. So would you do me the honor, please, sir? Your name and your name of your company.
My name is Kelly Bryce Castellino. My wife's name is Jennifer Nicole Castellino. And our company's name is Castellino's Godsend, LLC.
And we also appreciate your strength in coming forward, because you know that the reason why we do this, first of all, part of the reason why we do this is to honor employees like Ms. Wagner who have helped you along the journey. And I appreciate your comments about her and the work that she's doing. But it's also important for everybody to see, and I wish we could get the word out to everybody across the state about the stories of redemption and rehabilitation that are occurring. And it's not just your story, it's a story of so many others too. And so, but it takes courage to come forward and share a story like you have today. So thank you for your courage, thank you for what you're doing, and thank you for joining us all back as a great neighbor and as a productive member of our society. Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
The next item on our agenda is the discussion, consideration, and possible action regarding purchases and contracts over $1 million. TDCJ Chief Financial Officer, Mr. Ron Steffa, will be presenting on this item. Members of the board, I don't ordinarily vote unless it is to break a tie. However, my firm represents entities included in the purchases and contracts over $1 million. Therefore, I will not be taking any action today on this item of purchases and contracts over $1 million. Mr. Steffa, if you're ready, please proceed.
Thank you. Good morning, Chairman Nichols, board members, Mr. Lumpkin. I'll be bringing 19 purchases before you for your consideration and approval. They can be found on pages 27 through 29 behind tab D of your agenda book. The first 3 items are increases to the fiscal year 23-26 design professional services contracts that provide architectural and design services for the agency's major repair projects. These increases are needed to accommodate the additional projects that the division is undertaking. Items 4 and 5 are fiscal year 24-25 increases to the contracts for residential and outpatient substance abuse treatment and aftercare services for inmates released from substance abuse felony punishment facilities, in-prison therapeutic communities, or referred to the substance abuse counseling program due to increased utilization. Item 6 is an increase to the fiscal year 26 license plate sheeting contract due to increased quantities and unit costs. Items 7 through 13 are increases of the fiscal year 24 contracts for the residential and outpatient substance abuse treatment and aftercare services for inmates released from substance abuse felony punishment facilities, in-prison therapeutic communities, or referred to the substance abuse counseling program due to utilization and to fund a 90-day extension. Item 14 is an increase to the fiscal year 26-27 veterinarian services contract that we have with the Texas A&M, and this is due to increased veterinarian services and to purchase medications and supplies. Item 15 and 16 are increases of the fiscal year 26-27 Takumi case contract with for additional psychiatric and rehabilitation services. Item 17 is a fiscal year 26 purchase for soap-based tallow to be used in the production of soap at the Roach unit. Item 18 is for a fiscal year 26 purchase for sodium tripolyphosphate to be used in the production of janitorial chemicals also at the Roach unit. Item 19 is a fiscal year 26 contract for program and project management services for the Corrections Information Technology System, or CITS 2.0. The awarded vendor would assist in leading and managing the project and also provide support to the department during the transition to the new system. That concludes the presentation and will be available for any questions.
All right. Are there any questions or comments for Mr. Steffa from the board? If not, do I have a motion?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, I move that the Texas Board of Criminal Justice approve the purchases and contracts over $1 million as presented.
A motion has been made by General Welch. Is there a second? I have a motion from General Welch. I have a second from Pastor Sprinkle. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes. And please let the record show that I abstained from voting on the purchases and contracts over $1 million. Thank you, Mr. Steffa. The next agenda item is a discussion, consideration, and possible action regarding proposed amendments to Board Rule Title 37, Texas Administrative Code, Section 151.52, entitled Sick Leave Pool. TDCJ General Counsel, Ms. Stephanie Greger, will be presenting on this. When you're ready, Ms. Greger, please proceed.
Thank you, sir, and good morning, Chairman, members, and Mr. Lumpkin. This is a proposed amendment to Board Rule 151.52 titled Sick Leave Pool. The proposed amendment is very straightforward. It just makes a minor grammatical update for clarity to the definitions section. This amendment will be posted to the Texas Register and available for public comment.
Thank you, Ms. Greger. Any questions from the board on this item? If not, do I have a motion?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, I move that the Texas Board of Criminal Justice approve for publication in the Texas Register the proposed amendment to Board Rule Title 37, Texas Administrative Code, Section 151.52, Sick Leave Pool, to receive public comment as presented.
I have a motion from Ambassador Siv. Is there a second? Second. I have a motion from Ambassador Siv, a second from General Welch. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes. The next agenda item is discussion, consideration, and possible action regarding proposed amendments to Board Rule Title 37, Texas Administrative Code, Section 151.53, entitled Family Sick Leave Pool. Ms. Greger, if you're ready, please proceed.
Thank you. This is a proposed amendment to Board Rule 151.53 titled Family Leave Pool. The proposed amendment is very similar to the previous one in that it proposes a grammatical update to the definitions section for clarity. I'm sorry, sir.
No, and I apologize. I entitled it as Family Sick Leave Pool, but the proper title is Family Leave Pool. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Please proceed.
This proposed amendment will also be posted in the Texas Register and available for public comment.
All right, thank you, Ms. Greger. Are there any questions? If not, do I have a motion?
Yes, Chairman, I move that the Texas Board of Criminal Justice approve for publication in the Texas Register the proposed amendments to Board Rule Title 37, Texas Administrative Code Section 151.53, Family Leave Pool, to receive public comment as presented.
All right, a motion has been made by Pastor Sprinkle. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a motion by Pastor Sprinkle. I have a second from Judge Johnson, Vice Chair Johnson. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes. The next item on our agenda is a discussion, consideration, and possible action regarding proposed revision to Personnel Directive PD 30 entitled Employee Grievance Procedures. Ms. Greger, please proceed.
Thank you. These revisions, as you all know, are in line with actions that the board has been taking for over the past year now to update our personnel directives, bring them in line with each other, and make them uniform across the board. So the revisions to PD 30 will do the following. They update the policy and forms into the new format. In the definitions section, they add definitions for reporting entity, revise the definitions for equal employment opportunity violation, protected class, and responding authority. They also revise to incorporate changes from October 2024 to procedures related to time extensions. And finally, they update the language throughout to reflect the current Human Resources Division structure and consistency with recent changes to our other directives.
Thank you very much, Ms. Greger. Are there any questions from the board? If not, do I have a motion?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, I move that the Texas Board of Criminal Justice approve the proposed revisions to Personnel Directive PD 30 Employee Grievance Procedures as presented.
I have a motion from Mr. Fordyce. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a motion from Mr. Fordyce. I have a second from Vice Chair Johnson. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Thank you, Ms. Greger. It is now time for the chairman's report, and as many of you know, I enjoy using my time to highlight initiatives to modernize TDCJ's operations. So today we are spotlighting how the agency is improving the way in which the agency communicates, serves the public, and supports internal and external stakeholders through the agency's website redesign project. This project is being led by the TDCJ Communications Department, which, as many of you know, oversees all internal and external communications for the agency. The web services team within the Communications Department manages the agency's website and intranet. Each month, the team updates more than 100 web pages and 500 documents to meet the needs of the agency, this board and its direct reports, and the Texas Board of Pardons and Paroles. Additionally, the team reviews and disseminates more than 400 emails a month to different areas within the agency. Joining us today at the podium is TDCJ's Director of the Communications Department, Dr. Amanda Hernandez, and who will give more information on this very, very exciting project. So Dr. Hernandez, whenever you're ready, please proceed.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Chairman, Mr. Lumpkin, members of the board. I'm really excited to be here to show you all this project. Before I do that, I want to acknowledge my web services team. Wendy is here. So Wendy, if you want to stand up. She's our manager of our web services team. We also have, she's a rock star. We also have Guy Hanser and Karen Gouge, and so just want to acknowledge them and their hard work for this project.
Are they here with us today?
They are not. They're still working on a website redesign that I'm telling you will be done very soon.
Okay, all right. We appreciate their diligence.
So as one of the largest state agencies in Texas, TDCJ serves many stakeholders: victims, inmate families, employees, policymakers, researchers, the media, and our general public. Our current website contains valuable information, but it was in need of a major upgrade. I think we can all agree on that. So this redesign allows us to modernize the site, improve accessibility, and create a better, more user-friendly experience for everyone. To build a better website, we started by identifying our biggest challenges. Some of these include outdated design, inconsistent page structure, large volumes of content, and accessibility. We decided to focus our redesign project on 3 main priorities. The first being accessibility and compliance, the second being modern design and functionality, and the third being content clarity. So TDCJ is committed to making our website accessible to the widest possible audience and being fully compliant with modern accessibility standards. Web accessibility means that everyone has equal access to the information and services online. It's really important. So as the internet is a vital resource for daily life, inaccessible websites create barriers for those with disabilities. But accessibility is not just for those with disabilities. An accessible website makes sure that everyone can use it and improves that user function.
I don't mean to interrupt you, but
Yes,
I thought
sir.
we had a slide deck that goes along with this as well.
Let me get there.
Okay, all right, all right.
I gotta build up to it.
I don't want to steal your thunder.
I gotta build up to it.
Good.
So, we've worked with ITD's electronic information resources to make sure that we're accessible. So one major change to the new website is going to be the added top navigation bar and a left-hand navigation bar. So this will categorize pages based on the audience, and so we'll see that here in a second. And another major focus was on content clarity. So this will be accomplished in 2 ways. The first is reducing the amount of content on the website, and then also changing the tone of the website. Currently, there's more than 3,600 pages on the website, with some of the content obsolete or sharing conflicting information. So our goal is to drastically reduce the number of pages on there, but make sure that content that is on the website stays up to date. So, the moment you've all been waiting for. So here it is, and this is a video. I'll make sure it's playing, Mike. A screen recording of it. So as you can see, it is significantly cleaner. I'm gonna scroll, it'll scroll down in just a second. We have those 3 icons there at the top in that middle section for join our team, visitation, and inmate search, 3 things that people use a lot on our site. We have TDCJ at a glance, which is kind of just a dashboard of numbers for us, and a news section. And then the bottom is just links that we have to have there for other regulatory purposes, and then our social media. So when we scroll all the way up at the top and you see this top navigation, it's really easy to use. The About is where you'll go to find information about the board, our executive director, divisions and departments, our newsroom, public information requests, just those normal things under About. Then it's broken up under Victims. So they can easily sign up to receive notifications, get information about resources, events, and their rights. Then for inmate families, this is a very easy place for them to go to get information about visitation, commissary and trust fund, how to contact their loved ones, what programs are available. Population includes those under both the CID, but also parole and CJAD areas. An area for our volunteers to sign up to get training and resources. For those who are hoping to join our agency for careers, and my favorite one, our employee resources, is now all in one area where our employees can go to find information that they need for their well-being and benefits, all of those things. This is the example of an inside page. You see now we have that left side navigation that users can use to navigate anything in that section. So this is example inmate families. So you can easily navigate from visitation to commissary and trust fund and contacting inmates. This used to be multiple pages, right? So there would be a link to dress code. There would be a link to items allowed. Now it's all on there so they don't have to go to different pages. The information's all right there in one page. We also changed the language to just be more friendly and less, I'm gonna say just professional and more cold, I guess. It's more friendly and welcoming. And I think we know this guy right there. So this is just an example of our board page.
You may need an updated picture.
We can help you with that, sir.
Gotten a little older since then.
We'll come to you. And so this is again just an example of a secondary page. So we're working really hard on this. I'm so proud of our team for all the work that they've put into this. This is a huge lift updating this, and we've been working on it, you know, for a couple months now. So we're really excited about it. Our estimated go live day for the site is spring of 2026, and we'll continue to keep Mr. Lumpkin, Chairman, and the board will continue to keep y'all updated on our progress with it.
Well, I can say on behalf of the board, I'm going to open it up for questions from others and comments from others, but I can tell you right now, we really appreciate the hard work of you and your team on making all this progress that you have. I mean, anyone who just looks at what you've shown us on the screen and compares it to what we used to have, I mean, it speaks for itself. The one question that I have is I get questions all the time going across the state from folks who are out in our, business community, construction community around the state about, how do I do business with TDCJ? And so, so it's just a question and a thought that if there's any way of, as you've done with other portions of the navigation, to be able to allow me, and I know other board members get the same question, to be able to say, go to the website, all you do is look here, and you can do a drop down, and you could figure out the right way to do it. I would appreciate, but that is like a very small piece of hopefully constructive criticism on what is a tremendous amount of progress in making the agency much more accessible to all of its stakeholders through this website. But other questions or comments from the board? Yes, Pastor?
Yes, looks very good.
Thank you.
Thank you. We've been hearing that this is coming for a while, so it looks very good. Thank you for all the hard work.
We
You and
appreciate it.
your
Thank
group.
you.
I have two questions really quickly. One thing that jumps out at me is that we've lost the mission statement off of the, was that a?
So, and it's
decision?
not live, but Mike, if you'll start the video over again, under About, there's going to be a section that we're calling, I believe it was Our Mission, where we would not only have the mission statement, but also information about the 2030 website and just or not website, but the 2030 vision and just who we are as an agency.
Okay.
But if you would like it visible more on just the homepage or general, like we have across, it's something we could definitely add.
It was just a question. It's available second level down, so.
Yes, sir.
yeah.
And the
All right.
full mission statement, and where people can easily access it once we scroll back up with this video, it'll be there. But my thought was with that is right now it's kind of in the background on the homepage, right? But having it under About and just a page to really explain who we are, that doesn't exist on our current site. So that was kind of the thought process behind there. And something, at least I will use it often, is just that kind of, for lack of a better term, boilerplate language of who we are as an agency,
Right.
that people can go and get that snapshot, and we can also use it for different reports, or if y'all are needing information about just a quick snippet of who we are.
Right.
So right there
Good.
under Our Impact, that's what I was calling it.
Okay. Good.
Excellent.
My second question was probably the vast majority of people might be viewing the website off of a phone.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all have tested how that looks there and everything? Okay.
Yes, sir. It's fully responsive to all the different size devices, so tablets and then also smartphones.
Good. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Very good questions. Any other questions or comments from the board? If not, Dr. Hernandez, we very much appreciate the work, and we look forward to the launch.
Thank you. Thank you so much for the support on this project. It means a lot.
All right.
Thank you.
The next item on our agenda is a report from our TDCJ Executive Director, Mr. Bobby Lumpkin. Mr. Lumpkin, I understand you have two topics for us today, and whenever you're ready, please proceed.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Chairman Nichols, Vice Chair Johnson, board members. Good morning again to everyone, and have the extreme honor this morning to update the board and everybody here and online about our efforts to strengthen our crisis response team training with the help of many divisions that are here today that we'll get to highlight. So during the first week of December of this month, earlier this month, the agency successfully hosted what we do quarterly is a crisis response team training. However, it was remarkable that this was our first ever competition as well. Many of us had the privilege, including Board Member Fordyce, to see the extensive training and competition to date, incorporating advanced tactics, collaborative efforts from multiple teams and divisions across the state for 5 intensive days. Before we start some slide presentation, as you've seen against the wall this morning, we have just a few members of our crisis response team, and I'll call their names out, and then since they're already standing, they literally are standing ready. Will raise their hand as I call your name. But several members here today, our crisis response team state commander, Brian Sifford. And Brian actually spent a lot of his career in Region 5 in Lubbock and Plainview area, and came down here in the past year and has helped bolster the team that we talk about today. Our crisis negotiation team includes members here today, Major Angela Davis from the Training and Leader Development Division. Angela. Captain Andrea Rife from CID. Assistant Warden Brittany Reagans from CID. Jessica Littleford from the Information Technology Division. Kristen Ortega from TLDD. Sergeant Christopher Baker from TLDD. And then with our tactical response team, Sergeant Christopher Helmig from TLDD. Sergeant Eric Anderson from TLDD. Sergeant Stephen Beschel from CID. Major Susanna Flores from CID. Captain Christopher Grimes from TLDD. Lieutenant Robert Black from CID. And then also with us today, it's an honor to continue, and I'll talk about the collaborative efforts working with many in the room, is the Forward Assault Support Team, which is known as FAST, from OIG, with Lieutenant Gary Wilbanks, FAST Sergeant Investigator Brian Yosko from OIG, and Sergeant Investigator Jessica Williams from OIG. So as we lead into the presentation with our slides here, led by State Commander as previously introduced, Brian Sifford, the event was a significant showing of the agency's commitment to emergency response preparedness. Agency leadership prepared a large-scale scenario that tested the coordination and skills of the CRT, which also included 16 members of the Office of Inspector General. On day 2, there was a live action scenario that included a hostage situation and an escape attempt, and the CRT skills competition was introduced on day 4. It featured rigorous challenges designed to test and highlight the capabilities of tactical negotiations, as well as our OIG members. During the event, the teams demonstrated their skills, and a panel of judges evaluated their performance based on expertise and execution. Trophies were awarded to the top performing teams as a symbol of achievement and pride. Now I get the honor to, of course, as you see there in the picture, many of us were able to join on that Thursday afternoon to honor our first competition award winners, and I'd like to cover the first place winners in each category. So in the Lone Star Gauntlet, which was a rigorous number of physical pieces that made up that competition, including bench pressing your own weight. I might have a little trouble with that these days. Flipping a tractor tire as many times as possible in 2 minutes, along with many other items. The first place award went to Michael Carlson from the Sanchez unit in El Paso, Texas. He's not able to be here today, but congratulations. The cognitive firearms, which included a number of firearm courses at the range there at the Ellis unit, was won by Grady Smith from the Woodman unit in Gatesville, Texas. The next category was the downed officer rescue, where a 3-team member in full gear have to go through a course and then carry a downed officer, and that was won by Region 2 CID. We captured first place, and there's some members there. Combined in that picture is also the first place winners for the cognitive recall. 5 team members make up that, with 4 team members sprinting to retrieve different pieces of tactical equipment that the 5th team member has to don. And again, the first place was Region 2 CID. Operator loadout, which is a very complex competition that I could follow up with you offline because there's a lot to it, was won by Region 6, which was a combination and an example of collaborative efforts with OIG and CID both. I don't know if you can see in that picture, Mr. Genzel's to the left, and I think that's Mr. Guerrero behind the guy that's standing there. I don't know if you can see them from the investigator standing there. Our next competition was the Blind Command, which is made up of team members that are blindfolded and have to follow the commands from the commander to complete the course, and that was won by Region 5 CID. And then the overall winner was Region 5, which consisted of team members from both CID and TLDD. Now we have about a 2-minute video that will give you a sampling of what went on during that week with the competition and the training.
In response to several large-scale incidents the state encountered, in December of 2023, TDC wanted an elite group of staff that were trained to respond to any type of large-scale or emergency incident. So that was when the team was developed, and we're continuing training to this day. They are physically elite. We've tested them both under almost every single stressful condition that we could think of. We constantly challenge them on the scenarios, and they're able to make sound tactical decisions under that stress, as well as adapt any existing skill sets that they have, because there's always room to improve. A good elite member is always willing to better themselves and their team. They're put together to respond to any emergency incident, large scale, anything that maybe the unit or facility is not able to handle. They'll notify our team members to come in and resolve any issue. So we were asked to put together a skills competition for each one of our teams, not only our tactical, our negotiations, as well as our newly integrated OIG members, as kind of a team building experience and a way to challenge them for all the skills that they know. It's a brotherhood I know a lot of members of TDC are looking for. All the training and effort that these guys put forward is because they have a passion for their positions. Not only tactics, but the negotiations as well. Every one of our members is very passionate about the program that they're a part of, and that's what we're looking for.
As you can imagine, one of the favorite parts of our jobs and my job is seeing our staff come together to achieve a mission of public safety. Our tactical training members exhibit unwavering commitment, professionalism, and preparedness to address emergencies. These situations are rare, but as you see, we stand ready to address any situation like this with very capable, trained, collaborative, again, effort from many divisions. Of course, we take great pride in the comprehensive training that has been ongoing for several months now that they receive and their ability to handle any challenge. Just an exceptional job by all participants and those that hosted the event. I do want to call out just very quickly several in the room that were part of organizing and building this with Renee Hinojosa and Cody Genzel from TLDD, Lance Coleman, Amanda Hernandez, Communication Department, Gene Whitesides from Office of Emergency Management, Eric Guerrero and his team from CID, but also we have several support divisions and divisions that are just as important as any division that I mentioned that made this possible. Victim Services Division, Health Services with UTMB were on site, Communications, also mentioned Perot had members, IT as introduced, Laundry Food Service. So our recently purchased mobile kitchens that we're able to use when we renovate a kitchen or we have a natural disaster or a kitchen that has to go offline for some reason. We were able to test those out, and we're able to see that those will be very much a resource going forward. The facilities division was also involved, so really just a concerted effort from all across divisions in the agency, and we did this all with no injuries. No one was hurt, but a good friendly competition and some bantering, I'm sure, when we were not there during the award ceremony of who won what. But just great teamwork from all that are in this room, the many men and women that couldn't be here today, that stand ready every day to protect the great state of Texas and the rare occasion that is needed. Thank you. Second item I'd like to share this morning is just a quick holiday message from the Texas Department of Criminal Justice, and just want to wish everyone and your families, from our families, a Merry Christmas, a Happy New Year. The Texas Department of Criminal Justice has a tremendous legacy of 140 years of service to this state. As a testament to what we just encountered here, we're always ready, but we're also always ready impacting the lives of men and women that are on supervision, that are incarcerated across our state, always at all times of the year as well. I'd like to take an opportunity also to thank every single TDCJ employee, all 32,000, for their hard work and dedication that they provide daily. As we move into the holiday season, just please continue to keep our staff, their families, in your thoughts and prayers during the holiday season. And as I mentioned earlier, remember that thousands of men and women will be hard at work throughout the holidays, as they are every day, to provide the public safety for Texans statewide. So thank you again for all you do. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Lumpkin. The next agenda item is a status report on information technology initiatives from TDCJ IT Director Tina Clark. If you're ready, Ms. Clark, whenever you're ready, Ms. Clark, please begin.
Good morning, Chairman Nichols, Mr. Lumpkin, and members. Today I'm presenting updates on select information technology projects for board oversight. As you'll recall, we started this during the last board meeting in October, and so I will repeat a few things this time just till we get this regular cadence down. Most of these projects are in the procurement phase, which just reiterating that their procurement is divided into 3 stages: pre-solicitation, where the statement of work is developed and the solicitation is built; the solicitation phase, where the request for offer is made public with the deadline for submitting bids; and the evaluation, where the bids are reviewed and a vendor is selected for contract award. This month during the Finance Committee meeting, Mr. Welch asked that I start providing projected completion dates of those milestones in the procurement phases. And so today I'll speak to some of those, but I will add that to the actual report during the next board meeting. All right, the first one is the corrections, we refer to it as the SITS project, Corrections Information Technology System. This project is in the procurement phase, and it is now in the solicitation phase for 2. It's a multi-contract project. So we were funded for $58 million for this project, and we expect to award several contracts. The main contract being for the product for the offender management system, and then as Mr. Steffa spoke earlier, during contracts over $1 million, one for program and project management, one for organizational change management, and then IVMV, which is independent verification and validation. So several contracts. So we have already gone out for, posted the solicitation for 2 of those contracts, and both solicitations have closed as of December 1st. So we'll be making our way through selection, review and selection. The second Number two is, I'm not used to having to do this too. It's Central Accounting and Payroll System, which we refer to as CAPS. As you'll recall, this is the state's enterprise resource planning solution. And it is, the comptroller holds the contract for this, so they are responsible for managing that vendor and hosting and maintaining that system. We are one of the last state agencies to migrate to this system, and we are working toward the migration of the HR component of that system. We are in the execution phase, and we are 41% and on track for that project to implement the HR solution July 13 of 2026. Just as we are making progress every day on that. It is a huge initiative, as you know, and recently, just this week, it updated to 52%, and we have already started deploying PCs for correctional staff to use and email accounts. So every employee with the agency will receive email accounts, and we are have already started issuing those email accounts and making our way through that and educating users on the use of those email accounts. Number three is the inmate banking system project. It is truly more than an inmate banking system. It is a turnkey solution replacing the trust fund banking system, the parole fee and restitution processes, the point of sale system that's used in commissary, and the management of the commissary warehouse inventory. It also has a component associated for that parole fee. That is in the execution phase. It is 16% and on track as well. During this, between the last board meeting and today's meeting, we did accept the schedule, and so we have a go-live date established in that schedule for August of 2026, and then a completion of the full contract by November of 2026. Number four is the broadband connectivity for expanding fiber presence throughout the prison facilities. That project is in the procurement phase, the pre-solicitation. We have posted the 60-day pre-solicitation notice, which is required for a project of at this dollar threshold, and it is due to expire on January 6th, and then we will move toward the, it will go into a review by the contract advisory team at the state level, and then the solicitation is expected to be posted in March. Number five is the OIG case management system, the crime management system. It is also in the procurement phase, pre-solicitation. And under that, solicitation is in the drafting phase. And so it will be submitted in January to the Department of Information Resources, and they have 30 days to review it. Once it makes it through that process, then it will go be prepared to go out for solicitation. Number six is the learning management system. This project is in pre-solicitation phase of procurement as well. The draft solicitation is in the final stages of review and expected to move toward the to DIR also for review in January, with solicitation being posted in April. Each project depends on whether it has to go to DIR for review or the contract advisory team for review at the state level. Depends on the dollar threshold. And that 60-day pre-solicitation notice, again, all of it is dependent on the dollar threshold. Number seven is the video surveillance upgrade. Again, pre-solicitation phase. The 60-day pre-solicitation notice has been posted and will expire on January 6th, and then it will be submitted to the contract advisory team in January, with solicitation expected by March, sometime in March. And then the final one, number 8, is the technology enhanced inmate count proof of concept. We have completed the initial proof of concept, and it developed a business case and briefed the board on that. That completes my updates. If you have any questions.
Thank you, Ms. Clark. Any questions or comments from the board? Yes, sir.
I
General
do have
Welch.
a question. It relates to, we had a good briefing on the technology enhancement and inmate proof of concept that you're working on. We also have the, number 1 is the corrections information technology system, where we're offender management system. Are they, do they work in concert with one another, or are these separate systems, or?
Yes, sir, they will. They're separate, but yes, there will be an interface, and it is expected that whatever product is selected for the offender management system would have an account component as far as the software is concerned. But we would still need the infrastructure and a way to collect it.
Right.
So the tablets that you saw and the way we were describing the proof of concept that we did, we would still need that component.
But it's possible then, under the corrections information technology procurement, that they may have some other solution other than what we're testing?
The software would most likely be different, yes.
Yeah.
We could use what we have, or we could migrate over to what is in their package. Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
It'd be nice if we're all one.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir. It would, absolutely.
That's it, thank you.
Yes, sir.
All right. Any other, and on that last item, number 8, is that a business case that requires, will require board action at some point, or is that something that you all can roll out without further board action?
If we have the necessary funding, we could, it would require a procurement, so we would have to.
Right. As far as business case, we can keep the board updated, as mentioned earlier.
So if there is a procurement, you would likely be in a position to bring that for the board's attention in our next meeting in February, I guess it would be?
Yes, if it was ready to go then, yes, sir.
Okay. All right. Any other questions or comments? If not, Ms. Clark, thank you so much for your update.
All right.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Our next agenda item is an update from the TDCJ Rehabilitation and Reentry Division, and its director, Ms. April Zamora, who we've heard from earlier. If you're ready, Ms. Zamora, please proceed. Thank you.
Good morning again. April Zamora. I'm here to give you a year of progress. So reentry and integration to rehabilitation and reentry, a year's worth of progress. So as you know, in October of last year, the decision was made for the division to merge with pieces of Rehabilitation Programs Division, and we also gained some pieces of the private facilities and contract monitoring oversight division. We began our merge in November of 2024 after some recommendations of the Sunset Commission. We went from about 300 positions to over 600 positions, edging on 700. One of the biggest things that we knew is that our reorganization had to be a phased approach. One of the other things that happened was that post-secondary education transitioned to the Windham School District. That was a very slow transition as well. There were a lot of things that Ms. Hartman's team and our team had to work on in order to phase post-secondary over, but we knew that it had to be quick and swift as we were responding to the Sunset Commission as well. We had to look at our substance use contracted services. One of the things that was very important to us was to acknowledge the fact that the Sunset Commission recommended that as we looked at contracted services, we needed to be able to monitor in the same methodology that we monitor our Tacoma contracts. So the first thing we did was we got in and we looked at how is monitoring going on, and monitoring was split between quality assurance pieces of the Rehabilitation Programs Division, and then really facility monitoring that went into private facilities. So we have pulled the contract monitors together, and we have began teaching them substance use processes, and so that merge has been very slow. And in January, what you will see is combined monitoring, and all of that will be under our Director of Substance Use Services. Sex offender treatment programs was another huge redesign, and I'll talk about that when you look at our retention here in just a moment. We had a large number of vacancies. So at that time, then Mr. Collier, Mr. Steffa, and Mr. Clark, we all sat down and we began to talk salaries. It was very difficult to fill licensed positions at the current salary rate they were at. So we looked across the state at what was really vacant. Clerks, those were a huge amount of the vacancies in sex offender treatment programs, but our licensed clinical staff was absolutely a very difficult position to fill. So we raised those salaries without affecting any treatment programming, because we took some of those clerk positions that had been vacant for over 2 to 3 years and began to raise those clinical positions. And so far, that has really done us well in terms of retention and reorganization. And we did some of the same things as we looked at some of our licensed chemical dependency counselors. Just in SOTP alone, we've dropped the vacancy rate by 14.6% as we began posting those positions in October. So within SUTP, we looked at those rates as well. At the time of the merge, we had 35% of those positions vacant. We are now down to 17.3% of those positions vacant. The other thing that we had to look at as we did the phased approach was our certified peer services. So we had certified peer recovery coaches, but in the reentry division, we had certified reentry specialists, we had certified mental health peers, so we merged all of those departments together as well. The biggest thing that we had to think through in all of this was not to sacrifice and put all of our efforts into all of these treatment programs and not think through what was going on in reentry. Reentry is still doing well with a 6% vacancy rate. I need to remember I have the clicker now. This is a new thing for me. And it's nice seeing Judge Francis up there because it's a calming effect too. So at the time of this slide, we had our certified peer programs. So our mental health peer specialists that we have trained within the system, we had 63 peers trained. We just tested a new group last week and we were able to add another 19 certified mental health peers. If you're out on the units and you see somebody with a green patch on that says footprints, those are your certified mental health peers that are deployed on the units. We've deployed them in some of our restrictive housing programs, and they are now living in the restrictive housing programs like your CITP, your Savory programs, so that they can be working with those folks that are within your mental health programs as well. Reentry peer specialists, we're holding steady at 82 peers trained. Peer recovery specialists, we're at 66 with 15 in training at Hamilton, 20 that will be in a new class at Bartlett, 10 at Hobby, and then what we're gonna also do is open a class up at Hughes, again looking towards stability in things that are happening on our larger units so that they can see new programming happening at our larger units. Veteran X is also another certified peer training program. I just got the whisper in my ear that New Jersey would like our team to come train them on how to do Veteran X. So we had 17 peers when we did this slide, and we were able to add another 12 before I came to present to you today. So people ask, what are certified peers?
There you go.
Well, they have skin in the game. When you become a certified peer, you are actually certified by the certification board. If you violate any conditions of HIPAA, you violate anything, just like you're in the community, we have to turn you in and you're no longer employable. So when these ladies and gentlemen step up, they can actually teach classes, they get all of their hours, and when they go out in the community, our Tacoma contractors are hiring, we actually put it in their budget. We're able to reach out to different sober living centers and get jobs. So it's very important that we're putting somebody who has some type of a transferable skill out in the community. Currently within TDCJ, we are hiring at Bartlett. We have a certified peer specialist that actually used to be in one of our facilities. So it's really important that we're creating that chain. So I'd like to tell you about it. Mike?
I'm going through a struggle and I feel isolated and alone. Yeah, me too. I've been incarcerated for 13 years. I decided to become a Footprints mental health coach for a multitude of reasons. When I came, there were no opportunities for me here, but nothing that I could get in a different lane of a career. The carer part of it, the peer support of it caught me. My peers wanted to discuss things with someone and they really didn't have anybody that could understand or that would take the time to really be present and show up and listen to them.
Oh, that's awesome.
We were the first cohorts. I was really proud. So to be able to get out of prison and hit the door running with a job and be able to be an example of women coming out of prison, that you don't have to go back to a life of crime. You can actually obtain something while you're here, and then it'll be put to good use when you get out, and it'll help you succeed. If I would not have taken part in this program, that I would have a lot more fear. I think that there is so much potential for employment and opportunity that I'm excited to go out. I am scared, but I'm very excited and looking forward to it.
Well, I paroled out into a faith-based transitional home, and I realized how hard reentry is. But a year down the road, I realized that at some point I had to go back and tell others that there was support out there. I had a recovery coach when I lived in the transitional home and helped me navigate so many different issues in life. And I thought, this is what I want to do, and I've got to go back in, even though that wasn't on my trajectory, but I have to go back in and let them know that there is support out there. You don't have to do it alone. And it's just an incredible experience to think that this is happening now in TDCJ. And I'm so thankful to the Texas Board that they are recognizing that peer specialists are valuable, and they're giving us and they're giving the women and the men throughout TDCJ the opportunity to learn. You know, the greatest thing about peer recovery specialists is that we use our lived experience to help navigate, but it is their dream and their pathway that we help fulfill. And that's what's really cool about it, because what works for me isn't going to work for you. But if you can help them design their own life, you know, tell me about your hopes and your dreams, and okay, how are we going to get there? I think that giving back to the community is a great marker for how you're doing in your long-term recovery. Because at the beginning, oftentimes we focus on ourselves because we're the ones that are in need, right? But as you move along and you increase your strengths and increase your circles of support, we begin to reach out. I love just hearing them share. You know, even if I don't have any agendas or, you know, strict curriculum to bring in, I just come in and share space. And I think that is a beautiful thing to do, is just to say, hi, how are you doing? What's going on? Anything anyone want to talk about? And of course, we have a room full of 27, 30 women. It's like we have a lot to talk about. So it's always so much fun. I really just want to contribute to make sure that peer specialists, recovery support peer specialists are here to stay.
Well, if you have not met Tricia Boss, I invite you to join us at Bartlett, because after you meet that kind of energy, you have to hire them. So we did. So I really appreciate, again, Mr. Steffa's support as he allowed us to keep some positions. As one of our grants went away, we hired an LPC, and then in that transition, we were able to bring Ms. Boss on to staff. So. Also, as you know, we continued with Strive. I wanted to make sure we had that discussion through the merge, Strive and Thrive. We've been able to graduate 942 graduates from our female reentry program. And then as we merged, we opened our Thrive program. So we now have 62 graduates of our male version of the female version of Strive. So our Trust, Healing, Restoration, Independence, and Vision. The thing I want to denote about that is Sunset challenged us to look at new parole voted programs. What could you add cognitive? What can you do? So both of these programs were found to be very, very well and impactful to our recidivism rate. Strive was running under 5%. So as of January, they will be an FI3 voted program. So thank you to Andy Barbie's team and everyone who helped facilitate that conversation and the trust of the parole board. Promise this one's short, but
we prepare to cut the ribbon today. We're opening a new unit as well as opening a door to the future, full of possibilities for everyone who goes through it.
Here we go. Come on. Cuddy. I want to welcome everybody to the first graduation ever of the Thrive program here at the Bartlett unit, where we are live at Thrive.
that was just because it was fun and y'all were there and it's still going. So, You talked about technology enhancements and the things that we have to do to get better. One thing we knew is that our state jail program for substance use treatment is a voluntary program. So one thing that is really important when you look at that population is you have to be interactive. So we did reduce our contracts with some of our programs. So MTC had a contract for our state jail programs. We moved it to a tablet-based program. And we used our certified peers. And when I say use, we asked them to help facilitate on the tablet a program because they are able to do substance use education as an educator in the community. So this was the perfect opportunity to have them teach some of the curriculum on tablet-based programs. So we created a 12-hour education course, and through our Workbay application that's on the tablet, we have a 12-hour education course that for every person, you can see how long they're spending on the tablet, if they're completing the class, and what they've done. Prior to doing this, our average monthly enrollment in state jail treatment programs was 151 a month. Current monthly average for state jails is 561. So we are also within our substance use programs regionalizing. So just briefly, I know we've got time that I'm trying to watch. If we had somebody who was releasing, say, to El Paso, they may be board voted and need to go to the GIST unit for treatment. And then we would have to transfer them to El Paso to release. In the process of regionalizing, we are opening 56 beds at the Sanchez unit, so we can do treatment at Sanchez. We opened up, at the moment, 56 beds at Clements, but we'll expand that to 112. So what you'll start seeing is us breaking up those 1,000+ beds at GIST and putting them on release sites so that between CITD, they won't be transporting people all over the state just to have to move them again to release, because conceptually that also means that the families can be engaged in substance use treatment as well. Again, another recommendation of the Sunset. I want to just briefly mention the Champions Youth Program. One of the things that we needed to deploy for those youth under 18, either transferring from TJJD or coming to us directly, we had to look at that and refresh it as well. Add skills-based incentives, positive reinforcements. We needed to optimize our capacity. We worked with Windham, who has added new CTE pathways for youth who have their high school equivalency. New rehabilitation curriculum as they transition 18+. We actually put one out at Bartlett to see how that successful transition would look. And then we needed to change our assessment tool. TJJD changed their assessment tool, so Chandra Carter at JJD has been really great in working with us, so we keep up with the pace of treatment that they are already having, so we don't break the continuum of care. So one of the big Sunset recommendations, and I brought up Mercy Wood, and when I tell you that I needed a technology mind, I'm not technology minded. I still like my paper and pen as we're supposed to go paperless. But between Sherry Cogbill and Mercy Wood, they had Curtis Driesman, who I have here with me today, begin working on the ITP in a sandbox form. I'll bring up Workbay, and I will tell you we can give each of you user access. We just went live on the administrative side of our new ITP yesterday. So our ITP will have a public view and an inmate view. It will have a short program description. So if you hit IPTC, so in-prison therapeutic community, it will show a video to the client who's fixing to go in and explain to them what kind of program they're going into. It will also do that public facing. And if the parole board wants to vote a program, it will show the full description of the program. It will tell them what they're voting on, so nothing's left out. Nobody has to guess what programs we have anymore. Everything is real-time status. There is nothing that's going to wait for a human to have to do it. Everything will live in real-time status. We also added a feature where a person can request to go to something. So if Mr. Carter has a faith-based program that's a voluntary program and it's on the WIN unit, the logic will be at the WIN unit, and only somebody at the WIN unit can request to go to it, so that I-60 process to request programming will essentially go away. All of the things that we've done have been established by joint committee. Mr. Barbie and Mr. Clark have headed that committee. And everything has now been incorporated, and Ms. Mobberly has been amazing to work with. Now, we did reduce wait times to programs to 60%, but I will have to tell you, we made a big, huge move this past week. Mr. Lumpkin, thank you. Where we were able to use 200 beds at sale, and everybody that has a January date is already scheduled, and there is no wait for PRTC as of January. So, Mr. Clark, Merry Christmas. I think that was your goal. So, this is just a brief look, and it goes a little quick, at what's going to be on a Work Bay tablet on the administrative side. And I'm having it go very quickly because you really need to just get in there and dig in. So what will happen is somebody will go in, they'll be able to see their resume, then they'll go to their ITP report. Only their personal information comes up, their Work Bay information comes up. They won't be able to see anything they wouldn't normally be able to see, but they'll be able to see, hey, on the administrative side, we'll know they have a high need, what's happening, if they had to have female cognitive pre-release. Windham will be able to put in notes for the parole board to know what's going on, if they're complete, incomplete. So this is just a high-level overview because, again, we can give you access to play in it, if you will, but this is that feature that I was telling you, so that if they get voted for a program, it's going to read it to them and say, this is what to expect in your program. So, and then, again, here's just what the profile summary will say for somebody. And I think you're going to love it because, for me, it's just so user-friendly. It looks like a resume on the inmate tablet side. So, now, in the spirit of moving along, data sharing was a big thing when we went on our sunset journey. So, one of the big things that we knew we needed to do was we needed to modernize. With modernization, we needed to look at things like smart boards, again, using our tablet that we already have within the system. So that is something that we have really concentrated on. We're working heavily with the Office of Strategic Innovation and Modernization to make sure that we're program screening, that we're doing our program placements, and so we have really honed in on how to be effective in that, thus understanding the movements we needed to make earlier this week. Taking an integrated approach on our contract management, making sure that as we do all of the things that we're doing, one of the things I wanted to make sure that we really talk about is making sure that we do the trauma-informed care, looking at our female programs heavily. And then I'm just gonna close with something that is really important, and that is that I always tell you I cannot do things unless other divisions support me. I think Mr. Guerrero, we're gonna just indoctrinate him as a rehabilitation and reentry second division director. He has become like my favorite texting partner outside of Rich Babcock because I have to bug him with, what do you think you're gonna do next? Like, can you let me have this? And he's been very supportive. But one thing I do know is that wardens and AWs have had to look at things very different because we're on the units a lot. So we created the Rehabilitation and Reentry Innovation Quarterly Partner because they have to be as innovative as we are as we transition into this new phase of life, if you will. So this morning we gave our first one out. Curtis Jordan is here with us today. He is the assistant warden at the Travis State Jail, but he has really been so innovative with our youthful population. So I wanted to say thank you to him directly for all the things he's done as we've made changes to those programs, the trauma-informed care pieces, just outside the box thinkers, so thank you. As we were able to get our numbers down and do exactly what Sunset wanted and the approach that Sunset wanted us to have, and we went through who is our inside quarterly partner. Curtis Driesman was our inside quarterly partner within the division. He helped us find the bed space. He gave us the numbers, and he said, you could be at 0 in January if you did this. You have it. So Curtis, thank you for continuing to support ITP and Workday. all of those things I said really quickly. I wanted to be very thoughtful of your time. I could have stood up here for 2 hours to tell you everything that this team has really done, because the pride I have in the team that we've been given is so high.
Thank you, Ms. Moore, and if you'll just stand by, because we do have a public comment
Yes, sir.
on this agenda item, so I'm gonna ask the man that I know as Mr. Brewster to step forward. Mr. Brewster, are you here? Yes, sir. Come on up, sir. So please introduce you and I just saw each other, was it earlier this week?
Yes, sir, Monday morning.
At Monday morning and we're actually out at the Travis State Jail. So, but introduce you to everybody here, and we're delighted to get your comments on this subject.
Yes, sir. So let me first say good morning, Chairman Nichols, Vice Chairman Ms. Johnson, Executive Director Mr. Lumpkin, the board. It's always an honor and a privilege anytime I'm given the opportunity to stand before you. And I just really wanted to come and publicly highlight the great work that's taking place inside the institution with the programming. We've been having a lot of Stop the Drug rallies, and they've been very big and instrumental inside the facilities. And the reason it's been so instrumental is because they have programming set up in the back to where the guys are able to go and sign up right then, right there. And that contributes to public safety, not just on the inside, but the outside as well, because we want to send individuals home sober, clean, and things like that. So it's been an honor and a privilege to be able to work with the agency. I get the opportunity to work with the leadership, so I see the struggle, the sacrifice, and the commitment that a lot of our wardens and AW and staff is doing and coming together to host these type of events. So the programming has been second to none. Like, when I was incarcerated, we didn't have all these type of programs. So I'm always telling the guys, like, we have really grown tremendously with programming. So I just wanted to highlight that publicly. We always seem to speak negatively of the agency, but I want to make sure that we're speaking about all the great work that the many leaders and workers are doing day in and day out.
So, Mr. Brewster, you heard the presentation earlier by the individual who was on parole supervision.
Yes, sir.
And I assume that presentation kind of hit you in the heart a little bit too. So I want to ask you the same thing that I asked him, which is, we're not an advertising agency, but please, for the record, please give us your name and the organizations that you're involved with that help to contribute to the overall mission of rehabilitation and reentry.
My name is Kedrian Brewster, and I work with the Big Reform Movement. And what we do is just basically come back in and give real insight, information, and knowledge to help individuals transform their lives.
And I'm just saying this because I've heard you speak before. Have you had a life experience that resembles in some form or fashion the individual that we heard from earlier on who was on parole supervision? In other words, your transition into the world and your efforts to find your path out there.
When I go into the units, I actually explain to individuals that my transformation, it didn't take place in society. It happened inside the facilities. So for me, just getting that education, getting that structure, that discipline, it transferred over into society, because when I was released, I already had education, tools, and things I was able to bring to the job site. So when I got my first job, they were super excited. They was like, where's all that energy coming from? Mm-hmm. And I'm telling them, I've been sitting in a cell for many years fantasizing about this. But just the professionalism, knowing how to conduct and carry myself, those things translated with me into society. So I'm super thankful that I was able to change. But more than anything, I think it's super important that not just the board, but everyone that works in the agency is able to see people like me, so they know that their job not in vain. You have people that's getting up day in, day out. We have Director Carter, the CVSD division. I see these people get up 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning just for us to make it to a unit. So I think it's super important that they see me to see that the work is not in vain.
Well, thank you, Mr. Brewster, and I appreciate your being here to comment on this agenda item. And I look forward to seeing you on the road. How about that?
Yes, sir. I know we're going to see you.
All right. And Ms. Moore, we really appreciate your comments. Did you have a comment on that?
Just briefly, just want to thank April. I mean, her tremendous leadership in the last year and before that, but certainly bringing RRD together. As you mentioned, several sunset updates, and in the near future, we'll have Andy Barbie will present a overview of sunset update overall for the agency. But just quickly how April, with her tremendous leadership, her team, and as she mentioned, many other divisions, has moved the needle forward just in a year's time. And so just thank you to April and your team, tremendous work in doing all that while also ensuring men and women like Kedra and others are ready to go home and be successful in that handoff. So thank you, April, for you and all the efforts.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
The next item on our agenda is the status of board-approved projects. Again, Mr. Andrews, we need you to come back on up, and in your role as Facilities Division Director, you'll be presenting on this topic. So when you're ready, please proceed.
Yes, sir. Good morning, Chairman Nichols, Vice Chair Johnson, Mr. Lumpkin, members of the board. I'd like to provide an update on the status of board-approved projects. As you can see on the screen up there, item number 1 is the Michael unit replace roofs. This project is at 96%. Contractor is finished with 7 building, and removal of the safe wrap is ongoing. Item number 2 is the Hughes unit replace roofs. This project is notice of award issued. Item number 3 is the Stringfellow replace roofs, multiple locations. This project is complete. The board-approved program cost for this project was $3,673,400, and the estimated closeout cost is $2,727,567, which is 26% under the program cost. Item number 4 is the Huntsville Repair Replace Roof Mechanical Department Building. This project is 12%. Roof removal is ongoing. Item number 5 is the Holiday Unit Construct New Training Facility. This project is 55%. Sheetrock, electrical, and plumbing work is ongoing in the main training building. Framing and sheetrocking is ongoing in the BOQ area. And material is being staged in the firing range portion. Item number 6 is the Ferguson Unit Construct Water Treatment Plant. This project is 32%. Concrete work around the high-pressure pump station is complete. Electrical is being installed. Item number 7 is the Ramsey Renovate Water Tower. This project has a notice to proceed pending. Item number 8 is the Connolly Unit Replace Plumbing and Controls, 3, 4, 7, 10, and 11 buildings, inmate housing. This project is 35%. 7 building plumbing and controls are complete. Project has transitioned to 3 building. Demolition is ongoing. Item number 9 is the Connolly Unit Replace Plumbing and Controls, 8, 12, 18, and 19 buildings, inmate housing. This project is 15%. Installation of electrical in 18 and 19 buildings is ongoing. Item number 10 is the Ellis Unit Install Fire Alarm System. The project is 45%. Currently working in the main building, conduit and wire are being installed. Alarm panel installations have begun. Item number 11 is the Ferguson Unit Install Fire Alarm System. The project is 77%. Installation of conduit, wire, and panels is ongoing in X Block. Item number 12 is the Beto Unit Renovate Ice House. This project is 45%. Asbestos abatement has been completed. Dirt work and plumbing is ongoing to prepare for the concrete pour. Item number 13 is the Hobby Unit Construct Multi-Use Facility. This project is 5%. Mobilization is ongoing. Installation of the laydown yard is complete. Construction Sallyport and cross fencing is also complete. Item number 14 is the McConnell Unit Design Only Install HVAC Inmate Housing. This project is complete. Item number 15 is the Goodman Unit Install HVAC ISF. This project is 80%. Disconnects are installed at the air handlers. Electrical installation is near completion. Item 16 is the Michael Unit Install HVAC Efficiency Upgrades 12 Building Inmate Housing. This project is 99%. Final inspection was completed. Contractor is working on the final punch list. Item number 17 is the Stiles Unit HVAC System Efficiency Upgrades 12 Building Inmate Housing. This project is 14%. Mobilization is completed. Material has begun arriving. Electrical work is ongoing. Items number 18 through 20, 22 through 24, and 27 are install HVAC inmate housings at the Boyd, Gurney, Hightower, Luther, Polunsky, Pallage, and Terrell units. These projects are 5%. Mobilization has begun. Submittals and scheduling are in progress. Item number 21 is the Jester 3 unit install HVAC inmate housing. This project is 15%. Contractor has mobilized, laydown yard is complete, and equipment has begun arriving on site. Item 25 is the Stevenson unit install HVAC inmate housing. This project is 4%. Submittals and scheduling are in progress. Item number 26 is the Stiles unit install HVAC inmate housing. This project is 7%. Submittals and scheduling are in progress. Laydown yard has been identified and fencing is being installed. Items 28 through 40 are construct expansion dorms at the Bell, Choice Moore, Estes, Hamilton, Hightower, Jester 3, Lopez, Luther, Memorial, Montford, Pack, Sanchez, and Travis units. These projects are notice of award pending. That concludes my project status updates. I will stand by for any questions.
Thank you very much, Mr. Andrews. Are there any comments or questions from the board? If not, please proceed.
Yes, sir. I have 3 projects I'd like to submit for your approval. The first project for
I'm sorry, Mr. Andrews. One comment I had that I forgot to mention when Dr. Hernandez was presenting on the website. Can you make sure that with the new website design that it also allows for efficient navigation to the dashboard on the AC projects, for example? I'm sure it does, but if you could just double check on that for us, I sure would appreciate it.
Yes, sir. That's something that myself and Ms. Hernandez work very closely with, and we'll definitely make sure that gets on there.
Excellent. Sorry to interrupt.
Yes, sir. Okay, the first project for consideration is to install transformer substation at the Beto unit. This work will consist of installation, testing, and commissioning of backup substation transformer so that it becomes operational in a configuration to provide immediate backup to the current substation transformer. This will reduce risk associated with failure and ensure power is supplied to the units during outages. One proposal was received for this project in June 2025. If approved, the work will be performed by Alterman Incorporated out of Grapevine, Texas. This will be their first project working with the Texas Department of Criminal Justice. The project was designed by HDR Architecture, and the total estimated program cost is $5,339,000. I will pause for any questions.
Any questions or comments on this item? If not, please proceed.
Yes, sir.
Oh, I don't know that we are going to take a vote, but I didn't know if you were going to present all 3 of these projects first with the background and then take the vote. But if we want to just go ahead and take the vote, I'm going to call it formally. The next item on the agenda is a discussion, consideration, and possible action regarding Facilities Division construction projects, request to install transformer, substation, Beto unit, Tennessee Colony, Texas. And are there any further comments or questions from the board on this particular item? If not, do I have a motion?
Yes, Chairman. I move that the Texas Board of Criminal Justice approve the request to install transformer substation at the Beto unit in Tennessee Colony, Texas, as presented.
I have a motion on this item from General Welch. Do I have a second? I have a motion from General Welch. I have a second from Pastor Sprinkle. All those in favor say aye. Any opposed? Motion passes. All right, Mr. Andrews, next item.
Yes, sir. The next project for consideration is replace roof building number 1121 at the Huntsville unit. The work will consist of removal of approximately 10,106 square feet of temporary roofing, installation of a new clay tile roofing system, and installation of new air handling units and ductwork. The new roofing system and air handling units will meet energy and building codes. 9 proposals were received for this project in July of 2025. If approved, the work will be performed by Gutierrez LLC out of Missouri City, Texas. This will be their 5th project working with the Texas Department of Criminal Justice. This project was also designed by HDR Architectural Incorporated, and the total estimated program cost is $4,919,500. I will pause for any questions.
Thank you, Mr. Andrews. Any comments or questions from the board? If not, do I have a motion?
Yes, Chairman, I move that the Texas Board of Criminal Justice approve the request to replace roof building number 1121 at the Huntsville unit in Huntsville, Texas, as presented.
I have a motion on this item from Pastor Sprinkle. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a motion from Pastor Sprinkle. I have a second from General Welch. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes. Next item, Mr. Andrews.
Yes, sir. The final project for consideration is the replace roof and rooftop HVAC equipment at the BOQ number 1732 at the Stringfellow unit. The work will consist of the removal of approximately 10,000 square feet of roofing and insulation, installation of a new thermoplastic membrane roofing system, removal of HVAC units and equipment, and installation of 4 new HVAC units plus all utilities required. The new roofing system and HVAC units will provide a safer environment and meet energy and building codes. 7 proposals were received for this project in July 2025. If approved, the work will be performed by Trumbull Construction LLC, doing business as RBT Roofing out of Texarkana, Texas. This will be the first project Trumbull Construction will be involved with the Texas Department of Criminal Justice. The project was designed by our in-house engineering, and the total estimated program cost is $1,115,000. I will pause for any questions.
Thank you, Mr. Andrews. I'll just make a comment that, how many proposals did you get on this one? 7?
7, yes, sir.
So that makes me happy too, and it kind of is in line with a comment made earlier on the website, which is that I really, and I know the board appreciates the efforts to get the word out about the opportunities available to do business with TDCJ, because the more you get that word out, the more competition you have. The more competition you have, the better price you get, okay? So that's my one of my little soapbox moments for today, but it's also in recognition of the fact that that you all have been doing a very, very good job to get this word out. With that, any other questions or comments from the board? If not, do I have a motion on this item?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, I move that the Texas Board of Criminal Justice approve the request to replace roof and rooftop HVAC equipment at the Stringfellow unit in Rochelle, Texas, as presented.
I have a motion on this item from Ambassador Siv. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a motion from Ambassador Siv. I have a second from Vice Chair Johnson. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes. Thank you, Mr. Andrews. Next agenda item is a discussion, consideration, and possible action regarding proposed land transaction, request for permanent right-of-way easement wind unit, Huntsville, Texas. TDCJ Manufacturing, Agribusiness, and Logistics Division Director, Mr. Bill Lewis, is presenting. Mr. Lewis, when you're ready, go.
Good morning, Chairman Nichols, Mr. Lumpkin, Vice Chair Johnson, board members. I've got 7 land transactions that I'll be presenting today. 4 of those are renewals, 3 of those are brand new. All of these are presented in included language requiring indemnification, has granted responsibility in the most favored nations clause, and all compensation was negotiated at a geographical appraisal value. The first 2 land transactions that I'll be talking about relate to the Texas Department of Transportation. We have a 7-year project going on for the widening of I-45 coming through Huntsville here. And the very first land transaction request a right-of-way easement located in the Texas Department of Criminal Justice Partial 46 in Walker County. The easement for approximately 0.1561 acres, 6,801 square feet, and will assist TxDOT project of upgrading the interest of Interstate 45 to improve traffic and driving conditions in Walker County. Texas Department of Transportation is offering $131,273 as compensation for the permanent easement. I stand available for any questions.
Any questions or comments from the board on this item? If not, do I have a motion?
Mr. Chairman, I move that the Texas Board of Criminal Justice approve the request for a permanent right-of-way easement at the Wynn Unit in Huntsville, Texas, as presented.
I have a motion from Mr. Fordyce. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a motion from Mr. Fordyce. I have a second from Vice Chair Johnson. All those in favor say aye. Any opposed? Motion passes. Takes us to the next item you mentioned, Mr. Lewis, the discussion, consideration, and possible action regarding proposed land transaction, request for permanent right-of-way easement, Wynn Unit, Huntsville, Texas.
The Texas Department of Transportation requests a right-of-way easement located in Texas Department of Criminal Justice Partial 6 in Walker County. The easement for approximately 0.4897 acres or 21.332 square feet will assist TxDOT's project of upgrading Interstate 45 to improve traffic and driving conditions in Walker County. The Texas Department of Transportation is offering $162,612 as a compensation for the permanent easement.
Thank you, Mr. Lewis. Any questions or comments from the board? If not, do I have a motion?
Yes, Chairman, I move that the Texas Board of Criminal Justice approve the request for permanent right-of-way easement at the Wynn Unit in Huntsville, Texas, as presented.
I have a motion from Pastor Sprinkle. Do I have a second? Second. I have a motion from Pastor Sprinkles, second from General Welch. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes. The next agenda item is a discussion, consideration, and possible action regarding proposed land transaction, request to renew an electrical easement, Ramsey Unit, Rocheron, Texas. Mr. Lewis, please go.
Service Engineering LLC requests to renew an expiring easement for one electrical line located at the Ramsey Unit. The easement includes an area of approximately 0.895 acres or 3,818.65 feet long by 10 feet wide and 160 feet long by 5 feet wide. Service Engineering LLC has agreed to pay $4,833 for the renewal of the easement for a 10-year term.
Thank you, Mr. Lewis. Any questions or comments from the board? If not, do I have a motion?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, I move that the Texas Board of Criminal Justice approve the request to renew an electrical easement at the Ramsey Unit in Rocheron, Texas, as presented.
I have a motion on this item from Ambassador Siv. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a motion from Ambassador Siv, a second from Vice Chair Johnson. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. The next agenda item is a discussion, consideration, and possible action regarding proposed land transaction request for renewal of sanitary sewer line, Brad Livingston Administrative Headquarters, Huntsville, Texas. Mr. Lewis, please proceed.
The City of Huntsville requests to renew an expiring easement for one sanitary sewer line located at the Brad Livingston Administrative Headquarters. The easement includes an area of approximately 0.372 acres of land or 959 feet long and varying widths between 10 and 20 feet. The City of Huntsville has agreed to pay $4,205 for the renewal of the easement for a 10-year term.
Thank you, Mr. Lewis. Any questions or comments from the board? If not, do I have a motion?
Chairman, I move that the Texas Board of Criminal Justice approve the request for renewal of sanitary sewer line at the Brad Livingston Administrative Headquarters in Huntsville, Texas, as presented.
I have a motion from Pastor Sprinkle. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a motion from Pastor Sprinkle. I have a second from Vice Chair Johnson. All those in favor say aye. Any opposed? Motion passes. The next agenda item is a discussion, consideration, and possible action regarding proposed land transaction, request for natural gas pipeline easement, Ellis Unit, Huntsville, Texas. Mr. Lewis, please proceed.
Trident Interstate Pipeline LLC requests a new pipeline easement for one 42-inch pipeline at the Ellis unit. The easement includes an area of approximately 3.158 acres of land, or 2,751.26 feet long by 50 feet wide, for the transportation of natural gas liquids. Trident Interstate Pipeline has agreed to pay $141,729 for the easement for a 10-year term.
Thank you, Mr. Lewis. Any questions or comments from the board? If not, do I have a motion?
Yes, Chairman. I move that the Texas Board of Criminal Justice approve the request for a natural gas pipeline easement at the Ellis unit in Huntsville, Texas, as presented.
I have a motion on the item from General Welch. Do I have a second? Second. I have a motion from General Welch. I have a second from Mr. Fordyce. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes. The next agenda item is a discussion and consideration of possible action regarding proposed land transaction, request for renewal of natural gas pipeline easement, Boyd Unit, Teague, Texas. Mr. Lewis, please proceed.
Hillcorp Energy LP requests to renew an expiring easement for one 12-inch pipeline at the Boyd unit. The easement includes an area of approximately 2.43 acres of land, or 2,121 feet long by 50 feet wide, for the continued transportation of natural gas liquids. Hillcorp Energy LP has agreed to pay $90,000 for the renewal of the easement for a 10-year term.
Thank you, Mr. Lewis. Any questions or comments from the board? If not, do I have a motion?
Mr. Chairman?
Oh, that's home. I'm sorry, I'm moving so fast.
Mr. Chairman, I move that Texas Board of Criminal Justice approve the request for renewal natural gas pipeline easement at the Boyd unit in Teague, Texas, as presented.
Thank you. I have a motion on the item from Mr. Fordyce. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a motion from Mr. Fordyce, second from Vice Chair Johnson. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. The next agenda item is a discussion, consideration, and possible action regarding proposed land transaction, request for renewal of natural gas pipeline easement, Boyd Unit, Teague, Texas. Mr. Lewis, please proceed.
Hillcorp Energy LP requests to renew an expiring easement for two 12-inch pipelines at the Boyd unit. The easement includes an area of approximately 3.49 acres of land, or 3,039.3 feet long by 50 feet wide, for continued transportation of natural gas liquids. Hillcorp Energy LP has agreed to pay $128,940 for the renewal of this easement for a 10-year term.
Thank you, Mr. Lewis. Any questions or comments from the board? If not, do I have a motion?
Yes, I think we do, Mr. Chairman. We finally got it right.
I got it.
I move that the Texas Board of Criminal Justice approve the request for renewal of natural gas pipeline easement at the Boyd unit in Teague, Texas, as presented.
All right. Ambassador Siv has presented a motion. Do I have a second? I have a motion from Ambassador Siv. I have a second from Pastor Sprinkle. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Thank you very much, Mr. Andrews. Appreciate, Mr. Lewis, thank you. At the close of our meeting, obviously on behalf of the board, I would like to thank all of you for coming here today in person or in viewing our meeting online, and obviously on the part of each and every member of our Texas Board of Criminal Justice. We wish each and every one of you and each member of your families and all of your friends happy holidays, Merry Christmas, and we hope that the rest of the year is joyous and truly inspirational for each and every one of you. I want to remind you also that the next meeting of the Texas Board of Criminal Justice will be on February 20th, 2026 in Austin, Texas. And there being no further business, the 244th meeting of the Texas Board of Criminal Justice is now adjourned. It is 12:16 p.m. And we will be reconvening at 12:30 for the Windham School District. What's that? If we can start taking our seats, we're going to get started with the Windham School District Board of Trustees. We need a quorum. We have a quorum. And here comes. All good? Vice Chair? All good? All good? Okay, all good, okay. Good afternoon to all in attendance in person here at the Texas Prison Museum in Huntsville, Texas, as well as to all of those attending virtually. The 351st meeting of the Windham School District Board of Trustees is called to order in accordance with Chapter 551 of the Texas Government Code, the Open Meetings Act. During this meeting, the board will be conducting business from the agenda posted in the Texas Register. Members of the Board of Trustees present for the meeting include myself, Eric Nichols, Vice Chair Faith Johnson, Ambassador Sishan Siv, Pastor Nate Sprinkle. Ms. Zeicher unfortunately had to leave us, is not here. General Bill Welch, Tom Fordyce, and still with us, I believe, on Zoom, Judge Molly Francis. A quorum is present and the meeting of the board is declared open. The meeting is being conducted in person and is also being broadcast on our Texas Department of Criminal Justice YouTube channel. It is 12:33 p.m. I now ask Windham School District Trustee, Pastor Nate Sprinkle, to offer a word of prayer as we start our meeting.
Thank you, Chairman. Would you all pray with me? Heavenly Father, we come to you today in this season that reminds us of so much that we have to be thankful for, and so we do give you thanks today. We thank you for a beautiful day. Lord, we thank you for the life that you've given us. We thank you for family. We thank you for employment and provision of all of our needs. And Lord, we know that the greatest of those needs is what Christmas is all about. And you have sent your Son so many years ago, who is the way, the truth, and the life, to be just that for each one of us. So Lord, we thank you for your gift again at this Christmas season. Father, I just lift up all of those who serve in administration and on down in so many other critical ways throughout our Windham School District. Just give you thanks for each one of them and their diligent work and giving their hours to rehabilitating lives and the education of those that are incarcerated. And so, Father, as we go through this board meeting today, we just ask that you give us wisdom in any decisions that might be presented before us to continue to facilitate the great work that's being done through Windham. We pray all these things and give you thanks again in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Pastor Sprinkle. As a courtesy to speakers and guests in the meeting, we ask that you set your electronic devices to the silent or vibrate mode. As I said earlier on the Texas Board of Criminal Justice meeting, we recognize all public officials and staff representatives who are with us either in person today or watching online. And we appreciate everyone, as I said earlier, who attends our meetings, whether you do that in person or online. We value your presence and we value your input. And in line with that, the Windham School District Board of Trustees is committed to providing an opportunity for public presentations on posted agenda topics, as well as public comments on issues within its jurisdiction as provided in Board Rule 300.1. Persons interested in speaking at today's meeting were required to complete and submit a registration card at least 10 minutes prior to the meeting's posted start time. As no cards were received prior to the required deadline, the board will not hear public presentations on posted agenda topics today or public comments on issues within the board's jurisdiction. So let's begin with recognitions. I understand that Windham's Division Director of Instruction, Mr. Kevin Sonic, I just saw you a second ago. There he is right there. He's hiding behind that podium. So come on up, Mr. Sonic. I understand you are going to be recognizing Mr. Jason Evans today.
Thank you, Chairman Nichols, Superintendent Hartman, and members of the board. Mr. Jason Evans, recognized today for his recent promotion to Department Director of Instruction, upholds extensive educational experience, leadership, and commitment to advancing educational opportunities across Windham School District. Mr. Evans began his career as a 7th grade math teacher and brings more than 20 years of educational experience to his role. He has served in numerous leadership positions, including athletic director, regional director, and committee chair for Leon Independent School District. Before joining Windham, Mr. Evans supported Lee College as an academic advisor. His career with Windham began as a principal at the Luther Pack and Wynn campuses, where his leadership earned him recognition as the district's 24-25 Principal of the Year. In May 2024, he was appointed as the Central Texas Regional Principal, continuing his demonstrated excellence in guiding teams and supporting student success. Mr. Evans earned a Bachelor's of Science in Kinesiology. I messed it up all day today, and I still did it again.
I can't do it.
With
I can't do it.
With a mathematics minor from Sam Houston State University and a Master of Education in Educational Administration from Lamar University. He holds multiple educator certifications, including Principal, 6 through 12 Physical Education, and 6 through 12 Mathematics. Known for his collaborative leadership style, Mr. Evans prioritizes strong communication and teamwork to achieve student and district goals. Since his promotion to Department Director of Instruction in September, he leads the Career and Technical Education, College and Career Readiness, and Apprenticeship and On-the-Job Training departments. He represents Windham's mission with pride and personifies We Are Windham in every interaction. As you'll note later in the meeting, Mr. Evans has been instrumental in the expansion of the district's efforts within post-secondary education partnerships. A true champion of district programs, Mr. Evans is highly active across campuses and takes every opportunity to engage with staff, students, and stakeholders, building relationships that strengthen the district's impact. The district looks forward to his continued vision, leadership, and ideas for advancement. Please join me in congratulating Jason Evans as his new role as Department Director of Instruction.
Mr. Evans, come on up. And I gotta tell you, anybody who could teach, is capable of teaching 7th grade math, I think can pretty much do anything, all right? So
Yes, sir.
we've been watching you for a while now. Congratulations on this new role, and we're expecting the same great things out of you. But do you have a few words that you'd like to share with us?
Yes, sir. I'll be brief. Chairman Nichols, Vice Chair Johnson, Superintendent Hartman, and members of the board, thank you for this opportunity. It is a blessing to work for Windham School District, and a big part of that blessing is our leadership, and Ms. Hartman's direction is phenomenal. And Mr. Sonic, I appreciate this opportunity. Mr. Sonic's assembled a great team in our Division of Instruction, and we really have two mottos, and like I said, I'll be brief. I know we've been here a while, but service, 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 and follow up and follow through. And that's our manifesto, and that's what we're seeking to do at our campus level, not just with our staff and our teachers and campus leadership, but with our students. And that's where our mission is met in the classroom. So thank you for this opportunity, and we look forward to continued growth within the district.
Our next recognition will be presented by Windham School District's Department Director of Instruction, Ms. Luann Pickett. Ms. Pickett, I understand you would like to recognize Special Education and Federal Programs Administrator, Dr. Stephanie Jenkins, today. If you're ready, please proceed.
Well, good morning, Chairman Nichols and Vice Chair Johnson, Superintendent Hartman, and board members. It's my pleasure today to get to introduce one of my team members, and that is Dr. Stephanie Jenkins. And Jason, he told you our motto, and she really embodies the motto of service, service, service. So I will tell you a little bit more. Dr. Stephanie Jenkins is being recognized today for her recent promotion to Administrator of Windham School District Special Education and Federal Programs Department. This achievement reflects years of dedication expertise, and a passion for serving students with unique learning needs. Dr. Jenkins began her career in education in 2002 as a fourth grade teacher here in Huntsville Independent School District. Her early classroom experience sparked an interest in supporting students who require specialized instruction. In 2008, she earned a master's degree from Sam Houston State University in special education, along with the diagnostician certification, which opened doors to a new chapter in her career. The following year, Dr. Jenkins joined Windham as a diagnostician, supporting students in the East Texas region, providing critical support to campuses, including Matthew Gaines High School at the Ferguson campus in Midway. And I was actually working with her on Estelle at that time. Over the years, Dr. Jenkins became a registered professional diagnostician and later achieved national certification in the field. In 2017, she completed her doctorate of education from the University of Houston in curriculum and instruction with a focus on reading and literacy education. Her research interests include literacy instruction for special populations, and she also holds certification as a reading specialist. These accomplishments have strengthened her ability to design and implement programs that meet the diverse needs of learners across our district. Beyond her credentials, Dr. Jenkins is admired for her leadership style. She is engaged, supportive, and constantly learning alongside her team. Her approach fosters collaboration, and her colleagues describe her as open, fair, approachable, and a leader who values input and inspires confidence. One of Dr. Jenkins' favorite aspects of working with Windham is helping students under the age of 22 reach their full potential. She's passionate about motivating them to kickstart their educational futures and equipping teachers with the tools they need to help students succeed beyond the classroom. We look forward to the continued impact of her leadership within the Special Education and Federal Programs Department. Please join me in congratulating Dr. Jenkins on her well-deserved promotion.
Dr. Jenkins, thank you so much for joining us here this morning. And
Thank you very much.
And thank you also for stepping forward into this new role. And we look forward to seeing what you do. We all appreciate the work that's done across Windham, but especially, as Ms. Pickett was saying, the work that is done in the field of special education and also other federal programming. And that's coming from somebody who has a mother-in-law who dedicated a lot of her teaching career to in the special education area. So personally, and I know I speak on behalf of the board, we very much appreciate your efforts. Be happy to have you share some words with us on your new role.
Well, I just want to say thank you for the opportunity. I have received a lot of support, a lot of guidance, and I look forward to continuing to learn and grow and collaborating with my team and enjoying my new position. Thank
you so much. Our next agenda topic covers consent items. Are there any amendments, objections, or abstentions to the proposed consent items? Hearing none, the consent items posted for this meeting's agenda will stand approved. The next item on our agenda is a report from our superintendent, Ms. Christina Hartman. If you're ready, Ms. Hartman, please proceed.
Yes. Well, I'd like to start by thanking the board for your attendance last night at Windham's Art Extravaganza here at the Be Free Gallery in the Greyhound Station. I'd like to say a special thanks to our Department Director of Instruction, Luann Pickett. The entire event was her vision. You had the opportunity to judge artwork from individuals across Windham campuses that they interpreted based on a poem. So thank you again for your participation. As you're aware, Windham School District operates more than 100 campuses within the Texas Department of Criminal Justice, serving students in Texas's state prisons. Our mission is to guide, motivate, and empower students by inspiring excellence and transforming lives, which is our new mission, our new recent mission. This role is often attributed to teachers, and I'd like to take this time to say thank you to all of our teachers and our staff in the field today. that are working so hard to support our students in Texas communities. However, today we are pleased to recognize the often behind-the-scenes efforts that support our district teachers and staff effectively to accomplish their change. Today we recognize the exceptional contributions of someone who is not expecting this presentation, our Chief Financial Officer, Robert O'Banion, whose leadership and dedication have been instrumental in advancing Windham's mission. Robert, please join me at the podium, and I hope that you are surprised. It has taken a lot to conceal this from you. As the board has witnessed, Mr. O'Banion has played a critical role, along with his business and finance team, human resources team, operational support, and legislative affairs in developing the district's annual budgets, gaining feedback from each Windham department and campus. In order to afford the funds necessary to succeed, Robert and I engaged with the Texas Legislative Budget Board contacts, members of key legislative committees, and policy advisors. Robert has helped secure funding and legislative support for innovative programs that enhance educational opportunities for our students, often providing backup documentation that is accurate and readable on very, very short notice with support from his team, and we thank all of you for that. His efforts have enabled Windham to pilot new initiatives, support teachers and staff with salaries commensurate in public school settings, and elevate the importance of education and corrections. I must say that we make a good, well-balanced team when engaging with stakeholders who have interests in both the programmatic and financial aspects of the district. He has not only helped secure funding and legislative support for innovative programs, but has also sharpened my own budget skills, particularly when I was a new superintendent upon my return to Texas. Thank you, Robert. I now almost like math. So Robert's commitment extends beyond the financial realm. He spent significant time away from his family during legislative sessions, traveling between his office in Huntsville and the Capitol in Austin to advocate for Windham's needs. His family is here with us today, and we extend our heartfelt thanks for their support of his tireless work. And I'd like to recognize, if you don't mind standing, Dr. O'Banion and Molly and Hallie, his wife and daughters. Robert demonstrates an engaged approach by visiting campuses and interacting with teachers, principals, staff, and students. We've got some pictures up here of him doing that. He's currently leading the Transformative Connectivity Initiative in collaboration with TDCJ to provide bandwidth to all Windham classrooms, academic, life skills, career and technical education, as well as for our higher education partners operating in TDCJ. And it's my understanding that we have recently connected the Holiday Campus as our first in that endeavor. This effort will prepare students for success during their time with us and upon reentry by equipping them with tools and technologies that reflect community norms, including exposure to emerging trends such as artificial intelligence in the workforce. Robert's expertise with numbers, Excel, and the production of accurate, timely reports has been vital in securing funding for some of the initiatives that I've discussed. He's established standing meetings with TDCJ's Facilities Division to address maintenance and modernization issues, strengthening our partnership with TDCJ. Additionally, he's worked with our General Counsel to create opportunities for hiring TRS retirees by passing along the surcharge, broadening our recruitment pool. His attention to policy revisions, compliance with comptroller rules, and ability to balance stakeholder needs exemplify his commitment to making things happen for staff and students. Robert is quick to credit his talent to his teams, and I'm sure he's sitting here thinking, I just want to recognize my teams. That's always what he talks about. And I'm happy to say that they're here with us today. So if you all will please stand if you're in Robert's reporting structure. We have the business office led by Michelle Owen and some of her supervisors. Human resources, operational support, as well as Mr. Isaac DeBose, who coordinates many of our contractual and legislative affairs endeavors. We recognize behind that every effective leadership is a hardworking, committed team. Thank you all. Robert's leadership fosters collaboration and innovation across the district. Now, I mentioned earlier that he has helped us start utilizing AI and Microsoft Copilot. So we have a license with Copilot. I plugged in some information about Robert, not confidential information. I plugged in some information about his strengths. And here's what AI says about Robert. Robert is not only the master of spreadsheets, he's also the master of the smoker. He's an award-winning barbecue chef and judge, which means he can balance a budget and a brisket with equal precision.
Wow.
We have high hopes that one day he'll share his culinary talents with our district's culinary students, because nothing says career readiness like learning from a champion pitmaster. And if it weren't enough, Robert has presented Windham's financial strategies to national and international audiences, proving that his expertise is recognized far beyond Texas. Whether he's explaining how to effectively secure funding or debating the merits of mesquite versus hickory, thank you AI, Robert brings passion and professionalism to everything he does. Finally, Robert's sense of humor keeps our team smiling. He's been known to dominate the ugly sweater contest and enthusiastically embrace Hawaiian Shirt Day, at the superintendent's request, of course. It's proof that even in the world of finance, fun has a place. On behalf of the superintendent and board of trustees, I hope that we express our deepest gratitude and appreciation to Robert O'Banion today for his outstanding attitude, performance, and unwavering dedication to the Windham School District. Your work has strengthened our ability to serve students and support staff, and our collective vision continues to shape the future of education and corrections. Thank you, Robert. Thank the team, and thank the family for all of your efforts within the district.
All right, we don't often do this. We got to come up and we're going to get a picture up here. We want to see it. Come on. Well, thank you, Ms. Hartman, for that presentation, a well-deserved presentation. And you want to continue with the rest of your superintendent's report?
Well, in the spirit of the holiday season, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays to everyone. That concludes my report for today.
All right. So with respect to the next item on our agenda, it's the chairman's report. And as many of you recall from prior meetings, the administration and management of post-secondary programming made available to the incarcerated populations shifted to Windham School District by the 89th Texas Legislature with support from the Texas Department of Criminal Justice. This change was intended to better align educational processes and expand opportunities for students across Texas. Prior to and since implementing this recommendation, Windham has worked diligently to strengthen our system's partnerships with higher education and post-secondary partners, including by broadening the range of post-secondary offerings. In fact, there are currently 16 active post-secondary education programs in active operation with students enrolled, 5 additional institutions with contracts working through the initial startup phase, and 4 additional institutions that have expressed their interest in participating in this post-secondary program through the application process. And to further strengthen these partnerships and continuously improve the process of providing post-secondary opportunities to our incarcerated populations, Windham recently hosted its first post-secondary collaborative meeting this past October here in Huntsville. I was honored to attend on behalf of the board and to see firsthand these developments in expanding our relationships with our excellent higher education and post-secondary partners and the offerings we can present to the populations housed in TDCJ. The event, the post-secondary collaborative meeting event, featured updates on the policies and procedures related to the collaboration between external post-secondary partners in Windham, including from our own Superintendent Hartman. I was also glad to see that there is an active advisory committee on post-secondary education opportunities for our incarcerated populations, and that is an advisory committee that includes not just representatives from Windham and our higher ed and post-secondary partners, but also including interested stakeholders from our community and advocates for the communities that we serve. Windham team members were very active at the conference, presenting, among other things, sessions on planning, finance, and human resources. In addition, representatives from our higher ed and post-secondary partners also presented on various topics, including on how best to drive results and student success in collaboration with Windham. We are very pleased to be joined here today by Tracy Williams, Lee College's Director of Reentry Services and member of that post-secondary education advisory board that I mentioned. And also, we just heard from him, but we're calling him back up, Mr. Jason Evans, Windham Department Director of Instruction. And so thank you again both for being here, and it seems like it was just yesterday I was spending time with you at this conference. But I understand that you, Mr. Evans, will start on the presentation, and then that you're going to turn it over to Mr. Williams.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon. Chairman Nichols, Vice Chair Johnson, board members, and Superintendent Hartman. I'd like to begin by emphasizing how this collaborative meeting reinforced our shared commitment to expanding access to quality post-secondary education for eligible students in TDCJ. Our college and career readiness team, led by, I'm going to make her stand and she'll probably be upset with me, but Ashley Kuntz, she's our administrator for college and career readiness, and she led her team, and they worked tirelessly to ensure this event delivered meaningful value for all attendees. We are grateful for their dedication to strengthening partnerships with colleges and universities statewide. This gathering provided an excellent opportunity for Windham and higher education institutions from the Panhandle to the Gulf Coast to connect and network on successes, challenges, and promising practices. While the chairman highlighted some of the major discussion points, I'd like to just share a few additional details. Prior to the collaborative meeting on October 22nd, the Post-Secondary Education Programs Advisory Committee convened to make new recommendations, review new higher education program proposals, and discuss implemented action items, such as the new program application form for active institutions, which streamlines the process to request program additions or adjustments. This committee plays a critical role in evaluating higher education program proposals and guiding process improvements. As you mentioned, Chairman, Day One also included updates from Superintendent Hartman, Cole Meyer with Texas Appleseed, and myself. The Texas Higher Education in Prison Consortium met that afternoon, providing the higher education partners a chance to debrief and address agenda items. The second day of the meeting focused on high-level process updates, including reporting, student advisement, and operational improvements. Strategic networking opportunities, such as a regional breakout session, allowed the institutions to connect directly with their Windham regional principals and college and career readiness coordinators. Key follow-ups from this meeting included enhanced communication, increased social media awareness, student recruitment, strategies and coordination on graduation ceremonies. To conclude the week, Lee College hosted the Texas Education and Corrections Conference, enabling partners to transition seamlessly for further collaboration. To share more, I'll turn it over to Mr. Tracy Williams, Lee College's Director of Reentry Services.
Thank you, and welcome, Mr. Williams.
Good afternoon, Chairman, Superintendent Hartman, Vice Chair Johnson, board members. Thank you for the opportunity to speak today. As Mr. Evans mentioned, Lee College hosted the 11th Annual Texas Education and Corrections Conference on October 24th at the Walker Education Center here in Huntsville. The theme for this year's event was generational success, building a legacy inside and out. The conference featured a robust agenda, beginning with opening remarks and a keynote address by Chairman Nichols, followed by a partnership panel moderated by Dr. Brandon Warren, which included Superintendent Hartman and other distinguished leaders from the higher education in TDCJ. Additional sessions included a presentation by TDCJ Executive Director Bobby Lumpkin titled
Legacy Building. A discussion on accreditation, expectations led by Dr. Douglas Walters, and a panel on special programming and community engagement featuring representatives from Trellis Foundation, Jobs for the Future, and the Texas Higher Education Coordinating Board. A highlight of the event was the Inside Out Post-Secondary Alumni Panel, which included both in-person and virtual participants at the Ferguson and Plain campuses. Alumni shared their educational experiences, the impact of these programs, and their future goals to expand their education. The panel was extremely well received by all in attendance. The day concluded with presentations on innovative programs, networking opportunities, and recognition awards, celebrating advocacy, service, and alumni achievements.
On another exciting topic, in early November, Lee College and Windham made arrangements for Lee's Executive Director of School and College Partnerships, Associate Vice President of Transfer and Educational Partnerships, and their Director of Dual Credit Programs to visit the Ferguson campus. Windham culinary students prepared lunch, and then the group toured the Matthew Gaines High School program, career and technical education programs, and observed courses that are provided by Lee College to post-secondary students and Windham's eligible dual credit high school students. The tour was followed by discussion on enhancing the dual credit partnership between the college and Windham, as the Memorandum of Understanding is undergoing renewal and will be updated to include financial aid for swift transfer, or FAST, funding eligibility, which was authorized by the 89th Texas Legislature, for which we are very grateful. Windham has also recently renewed its MOU with Central Texas College to serve dual credit students with the Jovita Gonzalez de Morales High School at the Murray campus in Gatesville. These dual credit programs allow high school students to earn college credit while completing their diploma, helping them jumpstart their post-secondary education goals. What's most encouraging is that every one of the current post-secondary partners shares a deep commitment to expanding program availability across TDCJ and building seamless career pathways training from Windham to post-secondary. This dedication supports students in their accessibility to meaningful educational pathways. Together, we are building a stronger, more collaborative network that prioritizes student success and long-term impact.
That's fantastic. Thank you so much, Mr. Evans. Thank you so much, Mr. Williams, for sharing these updates. I want to ask one question and then open up for questions by the board. And I also want to include you, Superintendent Hartman, on this question. So can you give our audience and the public some examples of the types of post-secondary education opportunities that are currently being offered to students through this collaboration, as well as others that may be coming down the line?
Tracy, do you want to take it or do you want me to? Okay, sure. So, I mean, specifically, since we're here with Lee College today, who is a phenomenal partner, and I will say celebrating, I believe, their 60th anniversary operating in corrections in 2026, we have really some unique partnerships with them. So through the Windham School District and Lee College, we have integrated education and training for the women at Plain State Jail, meaning that they receive academic remediation through Windham while they receive their college courses through Lee College. So there's support on both ends. We have the dual credit that has been mentioned here. You all are offering associate's degrees in business, in welding, in all kinds of things. Logistics. You're giving me a test here that I wasn't ready for.
You know, I mean, I get to play the teacher today.
Right.
I get to play the teacher.
Yeah, and we do have some unique upcoming partnerships. I know that one of the colleges is submitting an application for industrial maintenance, and that is a really high demand, high wage field. People are coming out making $60,000 a year after training in that, which is fantastic for rejoining the communities. We're also looking at some additional bachelor's degree programs in higher level education for the folks that are on that track, and plentiful career and technical education options. Really what we're trying to build upon is those entry-level courses that they're taking with Windham, affording the opportunity for students to receive then level 1 certificates through the colleges and their associate's degrees. The briefings that I've heard from Texas Education Agency and the data that we're seeing, that students are most successful when they are going to the associate's degree level after their technical training.
Fantastic. So, any other thoughts, Mr. Williams, on that?
I think Superintendent Hartman, she addressed everything perfectly, and we just want to thank everybody for coming out to the conference, and we will celebrate the 60th anniversary. And so I give my regards for Miss Donna Zaniga, who was not able to be here, who is great leadership, and we thank for the partnership and the collaboration between Windham.
Now, we're very thankful for that partnership that is kind of leading the way between Windham, and Lee College. And on behalf of the board, we deeply appreciate the expansion of Windham's relationships with all of our post-secondary partners. And these partnerships are critical to advancing our shared mission of transforming lives and creating meaningful opportunities for individuals within the Texas Department of Criminal Justice that, as you all were just talking about, those individual members can take with them upon release to help with their reentry with the ultimate goal of rehabilitation and successful reentry as productive members of society. So thank you very much for your presentation here today. Thank you. The next item on our agenda is a presentation on Windham's Leadership Academy. Windham School District Education Specialist Dr. Ashley McKelvey will be presenting today. Dr. McKelvey, whenever you're ready, please proceed.
Well, good morning, or afternoon now. Chairman, Vice Chair Johnson, board members, and Superintendent Hartman. My name is Dr. Ashley McKelvey, and I am the Education Specialist for Leadership and Development with Windham School District. Today, I'm pleased to provide an update on 3 key initiatives strengthening our leadership capacity and development across the district: our Windham Leadership Academies, Career Conversations, and the Tuition and Certification Reimbursement Program. The Windham Leadership Academies are designed to inspire fundamental change by cultivating exceptional leaders who empower staff and students and create environments where potential flourishes. The goal is to prepare leaders who can stabilize campuses, elevate performance, and make meaningful, lasting impacts. The tracks focus on developing transformational leaders across all organizational levels by promoting innovative instruction, operational excellence, and strong, cohesive teams. This mission guides the design of every track within the Academy. There are 4 primary focus areas for the Academy, including establishing transformational leadership, building core leadership skills, applied learning and reflection, and collaboration and peer learning. These points are focused through a lens that we lovingly refer to as the lead up. The lead up framework provides a clear research-based structure that strengthens leadership consistency across the district by aligning behaviors, decision-making, and communication at every level. It also equips our leaders with shared language, mindset, and behaviors needed to drive success. The courses are delivered asynchronously online through the Canvas Learning Management System and are grounded in research-based resources. As you visit our campuses, our participants are easily identifiable by their Leadership Academy lapel pins, which they wear proudly and mindfully as both a reminder of their dedication to Windham and their professional growth. There were multiple principals nominated and 17 approved by district leadership to be a part of the 2025-2026 Principals Leadership Academy cohort. These leaders at various points in the Academy participate in coursework, coaching, and structured learning to improve communication, decision-making, culture building, and leadership across their campuses. We're currently previewing the administrator's track as well. This track is intended for leadership levels beyond the campus, and it strengthens system-wide collaboration, consistency, and operational alignment. The lead-up framework is also utilized within this track, except is adjusted to focus on systems-level practices. At the systems level, Lead Up elevates participants from managing isolated tasks to leading with district-wide mindsets, improving communication, and strengthening collaboration across regions, programs, and agencies. Further, in 2026, the district will be launching the Emerging Leaders Track, which will provide a pathway for staff who demonstrate leadership potential but are not yet in formalized leadership roles. Career Conversations is currently supporting our emerging leaders prior to the full start of their academy track. It's a monthly virtual series introducing aspiring leaders to the expectations, Windham career pathways, and foundational leadership skills. Once the Emerging Leaders Track launches, Career Conversations will continue as an ongoing opportunity for staff interested in leadership who have not yet entered a cohort, ensuring an inclusive, continuous leadership pipeline. Lastly, I would like to touch on the tuition and certification reimbursement program. This program reimburses staff for approved coursework and certification expenses that build professional capacity and support district needs. The program, chaired by Mr. Robert O'Banion, Windham's Chief Financial Officer, and run by a committee of administrators, has awarded $110,242.58 to staff members pursuing further education and certification as of November 2025. The tuition and certification reimbursement program is truly a testimony of the district and the board's dedication to our staff, their families, and the future of education and corrections. We are incredibly proud of this work. In closing, all of these topics I've brought in front of you today collectively represent a comprehensive, sustainable leadership development system for Windham School District. While our efforts are only in their infancy, we are looking forward to continued growth, partnerships, and further solidifying Windham as a leader in education. Thank you for your time this afternoon, and this concludes my report, but I will pause for questions.
Well, Dr. McKelvey, we thank you so much. That was an outstanding presentation, wasn't it? And I will open it up for questions or comments by the board, but off the top of my head, I don't have any questions, because part of what makes a presentation good is to provide such a comprehensive review that your questions are answered. But anyone have any questions or comments?
I was just gonna say, great job.
Thank you so much.
All right.
For 2 years now, I've been on the board, and I am constantly just tremendous pride in the work that Windham and its people are doing to help reduce recidivism. And it's the thing I talk about more than anything when I'm out among the public and they're asking about what we do in the prisons that make a big difference, and this is it. So thank you all. Thank you very much. Have a very Merry Christmas. Thank you.
All right. Thank you for your presentation.
Thank you.
And again, I want to thank everyone for coming here today. And as I did earlier, I'll say it again, that on behalf of the board, we wish each and every one of you here in person and watching on stream a joyous rest of the holiday season, a Merry Christmas, and that you be inspired as you complete this year of 2025. So as we look forward to 2026, the next meeting of the Windham School District Board of Trustees will take place on Friday, February 20th, 2026 in Austin, Texas. There being no further business, the 351st meeting of the Windham School District Board of Trustees is now adjourned. It is 1:14 p.m. Thank you.